Oh, it's so awful. You're going to love it.
Well, here they come again. They heard that things were happening. With mics in front of faces, their lips begin to flapping. They talk about world and local news reports, and even Steph Mickles, cause she's a doggy whore. Corey says,
Man, it's a goddamn joke. Corruption is abundant and the POTUS is a hoax.
Stacy says, man, I'd like to act, but Americans are lazier than most, that's a fact.
so go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreckRadio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, and thank you for choosing AirWreckRadio. We'd like to apologize in advance if there's any inconvenience caused, but we're going down.
Welcome to Second Prince, a podcast about comic books, pop culture, and other general bullshit.
I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
And you guys got this all goddamn wrong. You're in the AirWreck Radio studio, and Corey introduces stuff here.
That's right, brother. Thank you. This is the 12th day of August in the year 2013. This is episode 14. Sitting in studio with us is our friend Second Prince. I'm Corey.
And I'm Stacy.
This is AirWreck Radio. And these guys are here to screw up our show for a change. How you doing, boys?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Thrilled to have you on. Fellow podcasters are always welcome here in the Hideaway Brewery Performance Studios.
That's the beer I make. I didn't make any tonight.
I was waiting for you to clarify.
It takes more than a night to make it. I couldn't have it in time. Sorry.
It's just cool that you have a name for your studio.
Yeah, we don't have a name.
Ours is the accountant's office.
And we get kicked out in February, so.
Do you really? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Wow, that's when the accountant comes back.
You guys should, wait over the doorway with, clubs, and just when he comes back, club him. This is our studio, bitch.
Right. Birch? I would, but he's my accountant, too.
Oh. Well, that ain't going to work at all.
Balance that budget, motherfucker. Maybe part of the plan in the near future will be putting together a more permanent studio, and maybe we could allow some of our podcasting friends to use if they get stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
I'm not financing that. Just so we're clear. Sorry, guys.
Well, that would be back to the storefront.
Right. Yeah.
I would do it in the storefront myself. I mean, why didn't you guys? I know I asked.
The only thing that would stop me
show.
would be the audio quality of a big room versus a small room. That's
Was
the
that
only
what
thing
it
that would
was?
stop me.
Was the audio quality of the big room?
And the comfortable chair versus a shitty stool.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I noticed that you had a very comfortable chair in that office. I think I sat on a file cabinet.
I got one of the broken chairs.
Well, you might have had a good chair, but, somebody couldn't give up a seat.
Right.
I wouldn't have given up a seat. What kind of chairs are you guys on tonight?
Yeah, and look at the ones we're sitting in.
Scribbly, up and down seat.
Premium folding chair, I think.
Right.
This is.
It came free with the table. Not this table, another table.
All right, Wreckheads, we've got a great show planned for you. What we were going to try to do, and we're going to stick with this, and we're going to give it a shot, but we usually suck at this. We're going to have the boys in to just do the show with us. When their interview comes, we'll interview them, but we're going to try to just have them in doing the show with us.
You really want us to ruin it.
If we fail,
absolutely.
If we fail, and we will, what'll happen is it just skip right to the interview, because that's what we do.
The good news is that headline news is not very big this week, because not really a whole bunch of exciting stuff happened. So I'm hoping that we can say a couple of things that'll really anger John, and he'll just, he'll just go for 2 hours.
So I'm not going to talk then.
Well, show us strong opinions on things.
Are
I'll
you
find
a little
buttons to
opinion
poke.
about things?
No, he's got plenty of opinion.
I thought you must. I mean,
I
you
do.
seem like you must, but it's generally John runs the opinion portion of your show. as a listener. That's what I've observed.
Oh, absolutely.
Normally, at this point in the show, we would skip on over to our general banter. So, to start off the question of banter, what are you doing, buddy? How's it going? You have anything for banter?
I was bantering. Now I have to answer a question. Let's see.
No, what we were doing was talking over a long-ass 17-minute intro.
Really?
That's what we were doing.
Nice. Well, put Dad in the water, so that's good. That was done.
That's good. All right.
The boat was pretty cool. I've never, captained a vessel before, so that was pretty exciting.
Ooh, did you put a little hat on?
Well, I wore my hat.
Your cowboy hat?
Pissed off the side of it.
I was way too small for that. This was like a sit in the back and
also
enough in your boat.
Also, the boat was
my
short.
mom and my sister. I think I did just the right amount of fucking. 0.
I said drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's your mind, brother?
Enough of that.
Was that a phrase?
It was not. I misheard you. As we discussed,
as somebody who knows these people personally, oh my God.
I got to defend myself. As I complained about beforehand, my headphones are not picking up your mic at all, so I did not hear what you said. But I just assumed it was. Yes, we did a lot of drinking in the boat, but that's illegal, so no, we didn't.
You were not drinking while you were captaining.
Where it wouldn't matter what size the boat is. If you were drinking a lot, you'd have to piss.
That's true, but it was so small that there was no way to piss on a boat with my mom and my sister on it. It was just.
Do you mean without your mom and your sister seeing your pecker?
Well, there was not. I would have been uncomfortable. I would have stage fright.
The first
I watched a movie the other day where they showed where you could put the piss. I don't know if your mom and sister are into that.
God, I hope they aren't listening tonight.
Oh, both of them are listening on Wednesday.
They might not be. I hope they're not. I'm not going to even be like, so did you guys listen this week?
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to ask that question. We are now 20 minutes into the show, and I hope my mom doesn't listen.
It was nice, coming here one time.
Yeah.
We are not
great having you.
Invited back.
I don't think that's the show tonight. Check us out at, don't check us out. Fuck it. Don't even bother.
Fuck it, we're done. As you boys will learn, no, we will be happy to have you back because I like it much more when somebody else does all the work for me. So, you guys are doing great.
Actually, I like coming here and not doing any prep work for the show.
Yeah, no, just come and sit down.
Yeah, you guys didn't even bring your notebooks.
Nothing.
I love my notebook. It's got Thor on it and everything.
Does it really? Is it like a Thor Trapper Keeper?
Yeah.
The Trapper Keeper. Nice callback, sir.
Yeah, he looks like he's in 3rd grade.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. So what?
The writing looks like a 3rd grader wrote it.
It's on it's spread across 3 lines.
It's wide ruled and really scribbly.
It's got that one dashed line in the middle.
He shows me his notes. He's like, "What's this say?" How am I supposed to know?
That says you can't fucking write. Speaking of boats, the Love Boat sailed into a shipyard in Turkey today where it was decommissioned and stripped for parts.
The Love Boat.
The Love Boat from TV.
For real.
Done with it. Yeah, they put it away.
They put it away?
Yep.
Scrapyard finally.
I'm sure somebody cares about that.
That show was on in the 80s.
Well, I was on in the 80s, too.
So they stripped it for parts. They didn't sell the boat.
The boat was probably old.
Well, I mean, they probably sold it to the shipyard in Turkey.
Oh.
And then the shipyard in Turkey is stripping it for parts.
They wonder why these freaking things, break down constantly. This boat's got to be 50 years old.
Well, they probably only kept it at some studio or something, where it could be looked at and be like, "There's the Love Boat," like that island in Los Angeles. That's actually where Gilligan's Island.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet bullshit. They sold that motherfucker, or they never owned it in the first place, and it's been running real cruises ever since. They never owned it in the first place. I'm going to go with that. They leased their boat for the show for a couple of episodes.
So
they had an outside
they
picture.
helicoptered by it, and we're like,
yeah, exactly. Just so they had a picture of the outside of the boat.
That's it.
And then they're like, okay, we can go back to the studio now.
There's the boat.
We got to get a couple angles here. Okay, one with it stormy outside.
Yeah. Done.
Do you think they used the same helicopter they used in the beginning credits of MASH?
Yeah. The little bubble helicopter.
That little Huey.
They would have had it done in the old days. They would have had to wait for a storm, gotten the storm too. Nowadays, you just got one still of the boat, and we can do anything with it. We'll have it explode, break in half, and sink to the bottom.
Here's $60,000, make all this shit happen.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Some guy with the computer's like,
I can do that.
I'm done.
I'm doing this job. Done. Yeah, it's like the Star Wars movies. If I can get onto something that might take forever.
You know what, sir? Feel free.
Didn't you guys feel like the Star Wars fans?
Yeah.
Yeah? John?
I am, not so much him.
what's
No?
Star Wars?
Right.
That's where we're going with this. So at least partially, yes. The original three are the ones that I hold dearest to my heart. The original three. Before Jabba the Hutt was in.
Was that the Greys versus the Germans?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
The Greys versus the Germans.
That might be going back just a little far. The story that was plagiarized for that and set in a galaxy long, long ago and far away.
I only have Star Trek production. I don't have Star Wars production.
Yeah, I made that. I'll get on some Star Wars production. It's cool. I'll do that too.
Good. About time.
You guys saw the reiteration, the first 3 episodes?
Yes.
Wasn't the first episode, didn't they just go way too quick into CGI?
How do you mean? I don't
Like
quite
that
get
big
the question.
battle, the big battle on what, Naboo, between the idiot Nabooans and the Nabi? Is that what they're called? Nabi or
Nabi.
No, that's
Naboo.
Yeah, the Naboo people.
Yeah.
The Nabi are the blue monkeys.
Okay, yeah.
The big battle between them and the droid army. Wasn't that, absurdly CGI? I mean, I know it had to be, but couldn't they have, not made it look like Warcraft?
It's been a while since
fuck.
I've seen
All
it, but the pod racing.
I think
Like,
I
I remember
watched
It
it
took forever,
right
I thought.
after
It was like,
Fear and Loathing, and I think the buzz hadn't died yet, so I'm not sure.
No, I mean, for continuity's sake, it might not look great, but the franchise always built their movies on the latest, greatest special effects. And even though the
yeah, they skipped
prequels
over
came out
those.
later, they used, at the time, the latest, greatest special effects, which was pretty much the birth of serious CGI.
I mean, it was...
Before then, it was to replicate things, to fill in other places. Right around that time is when we started making entire movies out of CGI.
I remember thinking, how cool does this movie look? This big battle. It's so big. But then I was like, this looks like Warcraft. This looks like...
It does look like Warcraft. I'll give you that.
They just didn't get close enough into the action. They could have had, real actors in bodysuits and shit doing the
Speaking
battling.
of
Doing
CGI
some
and
things.
Strikes Back. Did you see the sheep in the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? That was CGI.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait.
They throw the kid out of the van, and he's like,
Yeah, I remember the sheep fucker. I remember
That was
He's a
CGI.
sheep fucker!
the sheep was the most expensive thing in the whole movie.
I'll believe that. With Kevin Smith directing, I would absolutely believe that.
The money all goes, it's always $60 million, but he only needs $10 million to make the whole movie. And the other $50 million to make a sheep to fuck.
And pot to smoke.
And I think that was only on the DVD. I don't think that was in the actual movie.
That's
the theoretical
Took the
movies.
money and they cut it out.
Yeah. That sounds like Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
You guys listen to his podcast?
One of the 8 of them.
Smodcast.
Not so much.
No?
I listened to Smodcast, and I've seen him do his Q&A before, it went.
The one with him and
Muse?
No,
Or Mosier?
No, he was solo.
yeah.
I saw that at Buff State.
Oh, you saw it with your eyes.
Oh, his one-man act there.
Yeah, and I
Because he
was-
doesn't do stand-up. He does a
I went
Q&A.
to go see that groovy
The groovy movie?
but they canceled it. Jordan got sick, and Muse canceled. And it was in Charlotte, and it was like, fuck, I can't go. It's like, I'm not flying
Jesus.
back down
Did you
here.
just go to Charlotte just to see that, or were you doing other things, and then that was what came up in the time frame?
I was going to Comic-Con down there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So that didn't get canceled anyway, but the Groovy movie did?
No, and the most important thing was that was the best convention I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've never been to a con, but it
Heroes
looks
Con.
awesome.
Well, it wasn't like... It was definitely about comics and not about... it wasn't a convention. It was a Comic-Con. Like
It was a comic convention, not a sci-fi convention like the big one
There
is.
wasn't like a bunch of douchebag actors and stuff there. It was all comic creators and
Artists and
big.
writers. And
Like there were big names there in comics, but not big names in like I don't
That
really...
seems more concentrated.
It was great. And
George Takei was
it
not
was
there.
still big and
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was a good time. Saw like Jason Aaron and Ben
I saw a lot of the
Temple.
Comic-Con coverage from this the San
Kelly,
Diego
Sue.
Comic-Con that just went on, and I was like, Breaking Bad doesn't... I mean, I understand that like a million people watch it and shit, but it doesn't really have anything to do with comics. So
Yeah.
what's going on with this? All this tie-in?
Oh, we can shove Bryan Cranston in here and it'll be interesting. That's
Yeah, like they have, like, here is the cast from Twilight, and you're like, really? Why are you at Comic-Con?
God, yes.
You have nothing
They
to
just-
do with Spider-Man, all right?
They just
Right.
want to sell as many tickets to that con
Yeah.
as ever. Where like Heroes Con is, everyone needs a hero. It's a comic book store in Charlotte, and they put on Heroes Con.
Is that the one that you went to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why it's good because it's put on by people who love comics, not by somebody who just wants money.
you boys ever done RockCon?
Yes.
Yeah, how'd you like it? Is it good? Is it shitty?
Well,
Should I move on?
This year we are actually sponsoring Joe Jesko, who is a pretty well-known artist illustrator.
Nice.
So we're having him come in. He's an actual talent, someone that actually works in the business currently. So we're really happy that he's coming, and
He does the awesome covers.
he does great covers
For like,
Warlord of Mars and stuff like that. They're comic.
for those of you who are listening and
screw
not
that,
watching,
John. What was that,
John
John?
just said huge tits and made the huge tits gesture.
Right.
Right.
We're not.
He did the whole Marvel trading card series. He painted all of those.
Masterpieces.
Masterpieces?
Yes.
Wow.
He did the whole set
What year?
himself. 91, I want to say.
Oh my God, that's when like Marvel Masterpieces were the shit.
We're actually good.
Like they
Yeah.
were really good, super realistic art.
So
I
yeah,
had it might not have been 91, but like right around then I had some Marvel Masterpieces, and that was when the art was like hyper realistic because they couldn't just CGI it. They had to like that was the thing to do.
he did the first year, and then I think the Hildebrandt brothers did the next year. So they have very similar styles.
That's one thing I like about.
Any sorry.
No, go ahead.
Any AirWreck fans or Second Prince fans will know Second Prince is going to do a special giveaway thing at the First Print booth at the RockCon.
So First Prince has a booth.
Yes.
And while we're saying it, and we're great with smashing face versions of segues, what did we hear about a First Prince? What is that, guys?
Yeah, what's First Prince?
First Print Comics is our comic book shop.
And where could we find this wonderful comic book shop?
Oh, I know.
48?
Oh, I knew. Buffalo Road.
Road.
Gates, New York.
Rochester, New York. And what's the zip code,
What?
John?
That's not Gates.
1464.
Fuck.
It is Gates.
It's Gates, but it's
the
yeah.
if
It
you
looks
write
like
it on an
Gates.
envelope, it says
Yeah.
Rochester.
Yet 1464 is a Gates zip. So
I didn't get
Not
mugged
according
or
to the
become
post
impoverished by
office.
being there. I thought it was
have you
Gates.
been to the post office lately? They're run with a monicum of fucking efficiency. We're not going to listen to what the hell they have to say about anything.
Oh,
I
that's
had some
not fair.
opinions about that, but
What? Antiquated, worthless, waste of money, any of those?
What is?
no.
The post office?
Yeah.
The post office is the only fucking thing in the whole that the whole government spends money on
That's worth
that
a
is
shit.
written in the Constitution as we fucking deserve a post office.
Yeah.
All the other shit they spend our money on should go away. I want my fucking mail.
The post
You're
office
absolutely
is
right.
definitely-
But what I do
by the
want,
Constitution, the post office is a human right. I mean, it's like
by the
we're
Constitution,
entitled to
what
it.
I want,
It's in there.
what I want is
Fucking welfare,
efficiency.
not in the Constitution.
No, certainly not.
Spending money to buy fucking oil pipelines in Syria, not in the
I'm
Constitution.
sorry.
John, how long
I'm
have you
sorry.
been
What
waiting to
continent
not
did
be
you
on a
go to on
comic book
vacation
show?
this month? John, What continent did you go to vacation on this month? Speaking of government spending, I would rather see a more efficient post office.
I think they're
work-
just fine.
Streamlined, worked like a private
They
industry.
should probably hire more people.
Yeah, no. Hire more people. No, what
Somebody
they should
has
fire
to.
is slack.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding about that. They could be more efficient, but I don't want to see my Saturday delivery go away.
No, I don't mind Saturday delivery.
Congress makes them prepay 75 years.
Yep.
Of
That's
retirement.
absurd.
That has everything to do with why they fucking run in
Right.
Red constantly.
In the red, yeah.
red.
Constantly.
Yeah, because they're fine without that. Nobody pays.
But I would like to point out
What?
one statistic. The U.S. Postal Service spends 80% of their budget on payroll. The UPS spends 40% of their budget on payroll.
Well, what's UPS's budget versus the post office budget per
Well-
capita? Because that's an important thing to know. Like,
It
if
is,
you're
but,
going to say
but
percentage, what goes into that percentage?
you're right, but now when you're
UPS
talking about private
spends a lot
company.
of money on advertising stuff that the United States Postal Service does not.
Yeah.
The United States Postal Service advertises all the time, though. Maybe not as much as UPS, yeah, but they do advertise.
Brown has to shit all over the world. The post office only shits here.
That's
That's a good point.
That's true.
It's also a fair point.
Right.
That's also a very fair point. I don't even know how the fuck I got off on post office
And
reform.
they also
it was all your fault.
they also
Yeah, I know it was.
they also price to make a profit where the post office does not.
But then, why are we having such a hard time paying employees ridiculous
75
wages?
years of
What's a ridiculous
retirement.
wage? If I may ask, what's a ridiculous wage?
What's your wage?
Mine, personally?
Yeah.
Less than 30 grand.
I'm sorry. I asked.
But I'm poor and everybody
I
knows
thought
that.
you'd say go fuck yourself.
No,
Sorry.
you're assuming that I have shame and information I'd keep to myself. I don't give a fuck. You know what I make doing this podcast? I don't know, negative $1,000 a year.
We're
Just
in the
about
same right there.
Yeah, right there. Hey,
Pretty
you guys
cool.
have a, now that we're talking about the money we make, you guys have a donate thing that you shamelessly push.
Yes.
All the time.
Has that ever worked?
Yes.
Really?
We got $1.50 the other day.
Yes!
But the kid was like, I meant to put $15 in. So,
Oh, cool.
You know, in
At
spirit,
least
it was
you meant
15.
it, yeah.
So you're up $1.50.
so I got 60 cents the other day.
that was your share?
I got a couple of gumballs.
I go take
He threw it at me, too.
In pennies.
So
It
this
kind
is
of
all
hurt.
your worth.
Thanks for all that reading and writing shit down, asshole.
So now we know.
Probably
Asking
shouldn't
for
even-
donations, not worth it.
No,
Probably
it's not.
shouldn't mention it until we know we have
Yeah.
tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm never going to donate to it, but I like it anyway. It's at least a funny bit.
You know, even if you
At
don't,
very least.
you don't have to say it on your thing, but if you throw it on your page, like, who cares? I mean, the twit guy.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
say it. Somebody.
Twit
Yeah.
guy still has a donate button on his page, and that guy's worth. He makes $6 million a year.
Yeah.
You know, and he runs a twit radio network or whatever.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
You know, it's not a fair point.
His thing is still there. His donate button's still there.
It's not a bad point. It wouldn't take up any space on the website. That is a fair point. But I wouldn't want to take up too much space on the air with it.
I feel like we should sell, like, if we're going to do it, we should, like, sell them a product and then
Here's
just have, like, a keep the
Here's
change
the
button.
deal. It's not about selling a product. It's about selling your show. Because if you're on regular radio,
There's a lot more money in products.
listen,
Okay.
you're selling. That's true. But when you are taking advertisers' money, your audience is the product, as opposed to your show being the product.
Yes.
And that's the big difference between donations and taking a sponsor.
You're right. That's a solid goddamn
You're
point.
the product, not your audience.
I intend to
You
make
want
my
your
audience the product.
Okay.
Shamelessly. Anybody listening right now, someday I hope you buy something from, like, any sponsor we have. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is.
Advertising works.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, it puts money in the pocket. That works for me.
Yeah, that's
I
why
work for that.
But you did bring up a good point about it being non-field related, and I could totally see where we stuck to a small local sponsors that had nothing to do with music or interviews or radio would be a better plan, like you guys said, to keep your grubby little mitts off your opinion.
I don't know, man. I will totally say that Adidas is the best shoe I've ever worn.
Exactly.
For a little bit of money.
I will absolutely tell you that, but I will not.
I don't wear Adidas shoes, by the way. They're terrible. They're
But
absolute garbage.
I wouldn't. But I won't suddenly become a Republican.
I might change my mind.
Yeah,
I'm saying. I'd be
I'm
like,
checks
you know
change
what?
mine.
They're okay. Actually pretty nice. They got like two laces, man.
Checks change
If you
minds,
ever pull
brother.
those laces out, it's only one lace.
So I'd like to point out that we are now almost 40 minutes in an interview, and John still has his pants on.
It's not an interview. Well, I have a fan on and a door open, so
He's always warm. He always says that he needs access to pull it out.
I think it's funny that like you guys like an hour later in your show, you'll be like, "Well, you've already got your pants off." But we all know his pants are no.
You don't know.
You're
That's
right.
the mystery of the whole thing.
Theater of the mind, sir. Theater of the mind.
Were you trying to like
I've
browbeat
only
us to a
actually
break?
taken my pants off 5 times, and it's never been when I said I did. So
It's
go
also,
back and listen to all the episodes and try to guess.
he's talking about 5 times in real life, in his whole entire life.
That's where that rash came from.
That'll save a lot of
Exactly.
money.
I need a new solve. That's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to
Browbeat us.
browbeat us into a break.
Okay.
Okay?
You guys ready? We're going to break. Hold on tight.
Oh, no, I figured I'd just let them do it since they introduced the show the
God,
first
you're going to get
place.
sucked out into the vacuum of space.
Hey, we're on a break.
Oh, that's right. These boys aren't used to it. Thank you for joining us on AirWreck Radio. We are streaming live on AirWreckRadio.com. Also, if you like what you're hearing tonight, our show will be available for replay and download Wednesday at all the available and normal websites, iTunes, Stitcher, there are .com. And if you want to hear more, please stay tuned. Thank you for joining us.
Wasted all my life just trying to find a better way to breathe again away. There's a dark and empty hole inside of my black bitter soul that I can't seem to escape. And I'm so damn tired of life, I'm ready to give up the fight so life can be free again, right? With the birds up in the sky, and where the heavy hearts can fly and fall asleep away.
Thank you for listening. We want to take a moment to speak to you about a subject that I am sure is close to all of our hearts. All we are asking for is a few simple seconds of your day to save one of these poor creatures. Abused, neglected, and forgotten. It's simply disturbing. These pseudo broadcasters are left without anyone to interview or to create all their content for them. Let's face it, this job's a lot easier when someone else does all the heavy lifting. Please, take just a few seconds of your day to help these poor, neglected creatures by emailing them AirWreckRadio@gmail.com with your booking suggestions and feedback. Thank you for your time and compassion.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for AirWreckRadio. This was the worst bring-in ever, brought to you by me. If you don't know who me is, it's Stacy talking into the mic right now. With us tonight is Jon and Dave from Second Prince Content.
Second Prince Podcast.
Thank you. Jon, say hi.
Hi.
Dave, say hi.
Hello.
Now you know whose voice is whose.
Hey, Stacy. I'm John. Nice to meet you, John. One second, guys. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Corey.
Go fuck yourself.
I can't electronically do that.
Fair enough. All right, move on with the show.
So, here's a little piece of audio to give you guys an idea of what Second Prince Podcast is all about, because our guests tonight are actually podcasters too. You can listen to them. We encourage you to listen to them. If you like comic books, you're really going to enjoy it. If you don't like comic books, you're going to enjoy it because they're pretty inflammatory sometimes.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
What?
We do not encourage the listeners to listen to these fucking asswipes. We demand that they do so.
Oh, yes, we command you to.
There you go.
Come on, you company twats.
Click play. That's all you got to do.
Are you going to play the audio?
You want me to play the audio?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody should hear it. It's terrific. All right.
I think you should stop right now.
What do you mean?
Because these people are getting too big.
Well, you know, if...
they're already too big.
Why?
And they're going to take over everything. And then they're going to dictate what happens in the world. You see how that works?
I trust
AirWreckRadio
more than my government.
I don't.
At least when I give them money, I actually get something in return.
That's an evil. That's an evil corporation.
I don't think all corporations are evil.
No, just ones that are too big and too powerful.
What makes them so big and powerful?
That
I still buy my comic books at First Print Comics.
Oh, thank you. Well, then fine. I'm dropping the subject then.
You know,
I'm dropping it. I don't care.
There's something about
them.
There's okay.
I'm dropping it.
Right.
I don't need to plug them on our show.
I'm going to cut that whole spot out now that you mentioned that.
Why? They should.
Cause I don't want to plug them either. Fuck them guys.
They should pay us.
You know what?
AirWreckRadio
sucks balls.
Yeah.
You want me to say you don't suck? Fuck, give me some money.
Pay me.
That's right. You guys fucking suck.
That was the best production I've ever heard in my life.
That Second Prince podcast, you can check them out at secondprince.cu.
I'm so proud of you.
That was so good.
That was awesome.
You're welcome. I heard you guys. Like, I was searching for that thing. I was searching for that piece of audio where, like, John called us out because I said that America was still a pretty good place to live. And I found that first, and I was like, if I just change these beeped out sections where you guys didn't want to, like, boost a major online. They didn't want to boost a major online retailer. So they beeped it out on their show, and I changed it.
What I wanted to
delicious.
say, Walmart sucked.
Hey,
Walmart does suck.
We said that before.
Yeah.
Fuck Walmart sucks.
I gotta tell you, that is what the third piece of production you built us? Third, fourth?
Yeah. So
I am
Like I almost
amazingly proud.
I almost thought I was saying it. Like I didn't remember at first, and then I'm like, did I say that?
No. Well, yes. To our live listeners, yes, they said that. That wasn't me overdubbing them.
It's not like you at all. Why
was
do
them.
we promo AirWreckRadio?
Fuck those guys.
I heard it and I was like, this is the bit.
Oh, man.
That's what I was doing when you got here tonight.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, now that that's out of the way, now that we've broken down completely because it was funny, right? I hate laughing at my own jokes, but
That was fun. No, this is where you say I'm not laughing at the joke, I'm laughing at everybody's reaction. See,
I was just laughing because it was funny. Whatever was funny was funny.
Oh my god.
So, what's up now? Is it headline news or interview time?
It's headline news.
Welcome to Headline News.
Headline News.
Did you guys all hear that in California today, it was decided that transgender students would be allowed to choose their own locker room or bathrooms? Whichever the one they chose. Did everybody in this room ever hear that
I
before?
did not hear that.
Whoa! I identify with the female fucking gender. I need a locker
You mean
room.
you?
Yes. I need a locker room inside the girls' locker room. Stat.
So what you're saying is that...
Oh, I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl as long as I can get a locker inside the cheerleaders' locker room.
I'm going to need you to put a wig on before you ever say I'm a pretty girl again.
I will shave my face for you, big boy.
You don't need to. Just put a wig on. Did you guys hear that?
I
Is
did
that
not.
news to everybody?
I think if they're not willing to go under the knife, that rule shouldn't apply.
I kind of agree with you on
And I
that.
don't mean
If you
just
want to
willing,
take that
but
step.
hey, you know what? Welfare's canceled in California. But if you want to grow a dick or get your dick cut off, we'll pay for that.
All right,
And
but
then
seriously,
you can go in that locker room.
all right, but seriously, what? Dick cut off, hormone therapy, change your name, dick cut off, girl, all the way, 100%. Besides the fact that you're born with the wrong
You
chromosome.
can't put something in there that has such an obvious hole of abuse.
Clarify.
Like you were saying, I'm a
Somebody
pretty
who's
girl.
not transgender who just wants to see cut and dick.
Yeah.
Thank you. What were you saying?
I was saying that they don't perform those operations for adolescents. Just so we're all clear, just so that we can all start off on the right foot.
There's
You
another
can't
reason
get it
why
cut off.
they shouldn't.
I wanted
Do
him
it.
to say vulgar things, and you wanted to be correct.
I
What the
did.
fuck?
I generally do want to be correct. That's why I do a lot of research, but not for this story. This story is all about fun.
Now,
Because I'm with you guys. At first, I'm with you guys. I'm like, you know what? Any fucking douchebag jock is going to be like, no, I'm totally transgender, bro.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm pretty sure that they must have some filter in
well,
place to
no.
stop the I'm
In
totally
reality-
transgender bro guy.
In reality, the bro guy is not going to be like,
well, you know, because that might mean he's kind of hungry and fruit. You
Then
wouldn't want
his
to do that.
girlfriend, who is the head cheerleader, isn't going to want to suck his knob no more.
Right.
So that's a problem.
And all his buddies be calling him a fucking fruit and all sorts of, yeah.
But then I get to
but
the
what
point.
about the weird guy who has no friends? Is like, this is the only way I'm going to get.
And here's boobies,
that's an
here's some
interesting
pussy,
point.
and here's some attention. On
Now,
top
see-
of all of it, here's some attention for me, being the loner strange guy.
I got as far into this.
5 years from now, he wouldn't get the attention. But right now, if he does, he will.
Right,
Yeah,
that's,
absolutely.
that's where I was just going. Was like in high school, I can see being like, I must be transgender because girls don't like me. And I noticed that they don't like each other very much either. So you like pull it off just so you can see. But I feel like, A, there must be a filter for that in these schools. And B, as a parent, this is a counterpoint.
My solution was
Get the hell out of my daughter's locker room, you man with dick. You.
I am a father of
You
two.
XY. You do not belong in the XX locker room.
I'm a father of 2 daughters, and I even pointed out to somebody we know that I went to a local grocery store chain, who again doesn't want to pay me to fuck their name. No, and I had to take a whiz, and they had, in the men's room, they had a parenting bathroom, which was separate away from the urinals.
Was it for, like, mothers to bring their sons into?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. No, that would be in the woman's room, you jackass. In the men's room,
it was like
so
that.
me and you can take our daughters to the bathroom. I'm a single father. There's no mom around.
Oh, I see.
I
So
take
you
my
don't
daughters to the bathroom. I have to take them to the men's room because I can't go in the men's room. That's a fucking crime.
Yeah.
But then I got my daughters looking at wangs in the friggin' urinal. That's
that
what
guy
I
from
need my
Seabraze
9-year-old daughter looking at.
That guy from Seabreeze is, like, jerking off in the corner.
Exactly.
You're like, yo, man, this is Wegmans. You don't work here.
Great callback.
I really don't understand.
Great for thanks for naming the fucking giant corporate bastards.
Oh, giant corporate Seabreeze.
No.
I don't understand the guys jerking off in the bathroom at work. Well, okay. maybe
Listen,
I understand it.
I
don't understand it at Seabreeze.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't they have an employee bathroom?
I do kind of.
Yeah, why
understand.
are you going anywhere where anybody knows where you? I mean,
That's
I can
the whole
see doing it
thrill
at
of
the
it.
bathroom. But
see,
why
I
are
was
you
like-
doing it in a bathroom where someone can watch?
I have a harder time understanding
Yeah,
why
you
you
definitely,
do it
like,
in the
find a
office.
stall with a door, right?
That's a good point.
maybe they-
That's a
maybe
very
they like-
valid fuck point.
Maybe they like it.
like that.
You're right,
That's the
because
thing.
this
They're
guy
like,
actually had a past history of this kind of
That's
activity.
fair enough too.
He was in a stall
think.
with the door open, facing the wrong way. Why are you even in a stall?
maybe he's like, no one ever looks at my penis, and there he goes.
Right.
Now there's people looking at my penis.
Right.
Look at that
And
penis.
he's happy.
I don't know.
Shaking her off.
No,
It's weird.
that guy. No, that guy. That's I'm reading an interesting book now where there's an alien species and they don't have morals. Like they don't have a.
It's just
Like
like an
Canadians?
instinct primordial. Fuck you, asswipe. Exactly like
Canadian.
Canadians. Fuck you too.
The
Yeah,
book
we
was-
got free healthcare, eh?
No
the book
morals.
was written by a great Canadian author, Robert J. Sawyer. The name of the book is Illegal Aliens.
Awesome.
Oh God, that's
Love it.
awesome.
I
And then-
forgot where I was going.
Fuck.
I think we were
Whiskey
going
does
with, like,
that.
I think where you were going with that was Canadians suck, except we all wish we lived in Canada.
Well, anyways, there's a murder. They blame one of the aliens.
Oh,
and
you're
the
right.
aliens is like, hey, do you... They're trying to prove whether he's insane or not. And they go down the moral path.
Okay, we got to stop for a second though. So we're aliens from outer space.
Yeah, not
Alpha
from Mexico.
Centauri,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
UFO aliens.
All right. UFO aliens. Okay.
Alpha Centauri.
Not Mexicans.
Right.
These guys,
Correct.
Wait, no, we're in Canada, not Asians.
Can we
I
start
can
calling
see how you
aliens?
might think some aliens are
Wait,
amoral, but
can we start calling like space aliens spacebacks? Is that okay? Is that okay to do? Because they didn't swim and they didn't like cross
That'll
the land.
be
They
that'll
like,
be okay.
traverse the stars.
That'll
We're
be
just like-
okay to do till they get here and they set up some kind of
Hey,
foundation
zero
with
gravity
letters.
bags.
What's up, floaters?
They'll get here. They'll set up some kind of foundation with a bunch of letters and shit, and a bunch of people that scream at you when you say sensitive things. So until then, enjoy using space facts.
Yeah. I couldn't be the first one to be obliterated.
So fucking star jumpers.
All right. So extraterrestrials.
Yeah, they're star jumpers to themselves, though.
Jumpa.
Jumpers. They're star jumpers.
Jump ass. Where's the chowder?
You drop the R, it's okay.
We actually do that accent a lot. We're not on mic.
I was not talking about Bostonians. I was not going there with drop R's. So
Hold on. Okay, aliens, outer space, come here, amoral.
One of them gets blamed for a murder.
It's
And
amoral. It's not murder.
they get like a famous civil rights lawyer to defend them.
Johnny Cochran.
would that be great?
Sort
Don't
of.
fit. You must have
Sort
quit.
of.
I don't even know
He's
your
only
civil
got 3
rights. I
fingers. Of
just
course it doesn't fit.
So he goes, they start asking him questions like they want to build an insanity defense. And they're like, okay, if you did whatever, would it be wrong? And he's like, no, I would have done it because God told me to. And like, that's his answer. Like, they believe in their particular alien race believes in predestination.
So they have a god?
So that was he's like, if
kind
you
of
kill-
hard to imagine somebody
if you-
technologically advanced enough
if
to get
you
your head
killed
still has a god.
somebody,
Not if their god told them to.
Fair enough.
if you killed somebody because they stole from you, is that okay?
Wait, are you
It
asking
doesn't
me?
No, he's asking our listeners.
It doesn't matter. God,
Check it on the Facebook.
it doesn't matter. God told me to. Well, they go through this whole list, and they're like, this is the definition of insanity. You can't decide between what's moral and what's not. Would you agree that you're insane? And he's like, yes. Obviously, I'm insane because
By that definition, I'm insane.
by that definition, I'm insane. And they leave there, and they're like, so do we have an insanity case? And she's like, no, the guy's totally logical. There's no insanity case there, no.
Fuck!
It walks right through, like, this is what everybody who's of our race believes, so, no.
What is this book called?
Illegal Alien.
Oh, that's pretty easy to remember. Who's it by?
Robert J. Sawyer. He's pretty good.
Robert
He's pretty good.
J. This is what it sounds like when I type on the.
He has a vacation home in Canandaigua if you want a firebomb.
I actually
Really
don't.
nice.
I really just want to read his.
Yeah.
I hate Canandaigua. I won't go there for fear of getting a ticket for
I
skateboarding.
like reading his
Canada
books.
I don't even skateboard,
He
but they give
talks
tickets
about-
to everybody.
This guy talks about Toronto, Rochester, and Canandaigua all the time.
I'm not technically allowed in Canada anymore. We spent a lot of nights there as kids.
I got kicked out of Leroy once.
Because they had a pool hall that was all ages. Didn't serve booze to the minors, but that's why we had bottles and trunks. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same kind of reason I got kicked out of Leroy. Not from Leroy.
You like Leroy?
No,
I used to buy drugs from a gym teacher in Leroy. Just kidding.
That's
No,
funny. For
you're
anybody
not.
who listens to both of our shows, they're going to get that. Which is me, so I get it.
Good.
No, I got kicked.
I'm like John. I do turn their show on every single week, and by minute 40, usually thinking about our show, writing shit down on the board. But it's on and it's playing. I love your guys' show because I love your guys' banter. But I just like what you do is you get real deep into characters that I don't know.
No, yeah.
Okay, like this week's episode was a lot about dirty things about a character that I don't have no fucking familiar. So I end up wandering off, but you can have a tendency to do that
I
with
like
AirWreck
it
Radio as
when I
well.
get deep into Dave's character.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I
Man.
thought that was like Dave got deep into your character.
Yeah.
I thought you were-
Ooh.
I misunderstood things, apparently.
Hold on, I gotta find the gay porn music.
No sound effects. No sound effects.
Come on, I haven't said
Let me bludgeon on with a segue.
Oh, you're great at that.
Welcome for it.
I wish I had a segue.
I have one.
You
Not
like it?
not that thing you read. Yes, I love it. I wrote it up myself.
Does it have the monster truck tires on it? Because I want to say
No, it doesn't have tires.
It doesn't have tires, but it does have its finesse
It
and
doesn't have
style.
tires. What it has is cinder blocks on an axle. Dave, sometimes on your podcast, your partner John becomes opinionated.
Very opinionated.
So I am curious to know that if you could put 3 things on the table in the country, if you had to, like, step up to Congress and be like, what? Yeah, put your fucking big boy boots on. It's time to answer a question.
Oh, man.
If 3 things had to be decided in this country, what would they be, according to you?
Who's deciding these?
Yeah. Me? Just me alone?
No. You're just putting them on the table, and people like, we gotta discuss, like, they gotta be dealt with.
What
by
are
the end of
your
the day.
3 talking points?
Oh, man. Definitely the welfare thing, I think, needs to be discussed.
Yes.
What
about it? Let's distract, and I will take notes and bring you back.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to throw all 3 out and touch them back?
Are you going to ask me the same question?
Yes, we are, but we figured we're going to ask him first because we knew exactly what would happen with this conversation.
Well, that's why I asked if you were going to ask me.
Yeah.
My goddamn mouth shut.
This question is for both of you, but he never gets to a print. He doesn't ever step up to the soapbox like you. And I listened, so like,
Right.
So we're picking him up and we're setting him on the soapbox.
So I wanted to give him an opportunity.
Right.
What would you bring up if your partner wasn't here right
If my partner wasn't here, definitely,
Just
like I said,
dying to choke
I'm so glad
Right.
that you agree that you're my partner.
Yeah.
I love you too, baby.
So the welfare thing. What about the welfare thing?
get rid of it.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely,
And replace it with
100%
something
ixnay?
else,
No.
or just see you bye?
Bye.
Just fuck you, you can't make it, you die.
You died.
All right?
That's going to be
That's
a hard
my-
talking point
That's
on
my
that first day.
absolutely.
Especially in this bleeding heart fucking
Absolutely.
crowd.
Completely got what would you keep?
What's it?
What would you keep? Welfare's gone. Oof. What are your entitlements without welfare?
What are your entitlements without welfare?
Excellent question, sir.
Man, I know I'm not prepared at all.
I'm sorry. I'm
At
sorry.
all.
The correct answer is 0. So
Yeah.
Oh, man, I
knew
disagree
that
with
was
that.
what your
No.
answer was going to be.
I disagree with that, and I'll
Me
tell you-
too, but
I will tell you why I disagree. I hate to hijack you.
No,
for-
go ahead.
let him finish his.
yeah, that's what I want to hear,
I
Dave,
don't really
not
have
us.
too much of just.
We all have a
All right.
But
You know what?
entitlement-
You're right.
yeah.
I'll make a bunch of notes, and we'll address them all in an organized, responsible manner.
Oh my God, this church just turned into
That's
TED
not
Talks.
gonna happen.
Listen,
So-
I love TED Talks, but that's not what our
So
show's
the
about.
welfare thing is number one.
Right. Well, not number one.
It's
Just the
it's your
first thing that
one.
came to mind.
You got 2 more.
One that actually affects me personally is forcing people to get health care.
I
am
Ooh,
huge
the big red button for the week.
I am huge against this,
Me too.
actually, because I don't think you
me
should ever
too.
force anyone to buy something at all.
When
If
they
you're
know
going to force
it's
people
not
to buy it,
Affordable for someone that's a business owner.
if you're going to force people to buy it, our tax money should buy it. That's how I feel about it. I don't necessarily feel that our tax
I'm
money
a-
should buy it,
See,
but if we're going to
I'm-
have to buy it,
I'm
why
against
is if
this.
it's for everybody to pay for, why isn't it
I'm
for everybody
against
to pay
this
for?
100%. Like, I'm against. I think they should reverse the laws that they made in the 60s and just get rid of.
You're referring to the.
You're
Insurance
not wrong, sir.
I agree with you on that.
The reason it got out of control is because they gave corporations the power to fucking
Just
You know what fuck people?
beat people up. Yeah.
You know what fuck people? Hospitals. Hospitals fuck people.
Yeah,
Because they
were like,
said,
we can get away
they
with
said,
whatever.
hey, your insurance company, this test only really costs us $70, and the $10 an hour guy we pay to do it, and the power costs $70. But your insurance company will pay $1,000. So guess what it costs, whether you have insurance or not? $1,000. And so healthcare prices are so inflated over what they actually need to be. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's medicine. It's healthcare.
It's everything.
Why does this cost
what I think.
anything?
I have a whole theory about that, but ask Dave about his third thing.
You're right. I'm
You're
sorry.
right. You're correct. Thanks
I'm
for chiming
sorry,
in
you're
and
right.
ruining everything. Jesus, we had a thing
I don't know.
going
I'm real,
on
that one I'm real passionate
that I'm like dying to ruin.
about.
So like,
the third thing.
what's your third thing? Healthcare. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. No. We got welfare reform as in fuck it.
So you
We
don't
got
like-
healthcare reform as in fuck it.
So what's your?
I don't think fuck it. I think, don't force people to buy shit at all. Like even healthcare, like
So you're okay? Well, are you okay with the system in place?
no,
Go.
no.
No, you're not happy with the system
No,
is
I
in
don't
place.
think
If
so.
I have
But
my,
you don't like the system. One
if I
second.
have-
1 second.
But I don't like forcing
The
people-
system
yeah.
proposed, and as a guy who has a personal stake in this as a small business owner or
Yeah.
part of a small business owning family, I'm totally with you. I can't afford to give all my employees health care. It'll break me. It's going to break me. I agree, but what is the alternative?
I don't have.
you either
like,
have no insurance, like they should cancel it. Like forget about insurance.
Okay,
Insurance
but
is
I'm with
gone.
that. I'm with that. But
Or
it's a little ideological.
really, it wasn't 50 years ago because they didn't have it. It didn't exist.
You're right, but now it kind of is.
Health insurance should be for catastrophic incidents, like I got cancer,
Child
I broke my
leukemia.
leg, something happened. That's what insurance is for. You don't have insurance on your car to
kinda-
get fucking oil changes.
You're right.
So why should you have fucking health insurance to get a checkup at the doctor?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So, same thing. You either, the only health care that the government's going to mandate that I can agree with is universal health care. And I don't agree with that. I think that's fucking bullshit too. But if they're going to do it, fucking do it all the way. Don't half-ass everything that you fucking half-ass everything. They never do anything all the way.
Here's maybe not
That's
necessarily.
democracy.
Here's maybe not necessarily my
That's
point
what
of
that
view,
is.
but our point of view is that I agree that healthcare should be for major catastrophes, but I don't even believe that healthcare should be major catastrophes. It still shouldn't exist. That's what welfare is for my kid got child fucking leukemia and I gotta pay $100 million in medical bills and I lost my job because I'm here every day.
See, it wouldn't cost that much, though. If there was no insurance, it wouldn't cost.
It wouldn't drive the price up.
Nothing would
Yeah.
cost. If there were
Got
no
it.
student loans,
If there was no, right.
college wouldn't cost so much.
I
If-
guess I do
if
have
there
a.
was not,
You're right. You're
free
absolutely
money
right.
out there, shit would not cost fucking ridiculous amounts of money.
Right.
How about? Here's what happened.
That's
It
an
happened-
interesting point.
This
He brings
happened,
up big education too, which I like.
This happened in the 60s. Like, so first you had them get rid of health insurance, and then Nixon was like, you know what? Instead of basing our money on something that's worth something,
I know.
instead of getting our money based on something that's worth something, gold.
Yeah.
Let's just make it
Paper
Let's just
bullshit.
make it paper.
Yeah,
It's as good as toilet
bullshit.
paper, only
This-
we call it money.
This is the beginning of government replacing religion, because now
Now
the
it's
main
completely
thing that
made up.
you get
God,
stuff
that's a
from.
very
Yeah.
nice point.
This is the main thing that you get stuff from. Now you have a belief system that you can't not believe in. So now you have faith in something.
You actually, I'm sorry to do it, but I did it already, so I gotta go with it. You actually can get money now that's not, like, based on the US dollar. I mean, you can do it. It's out there to get. You could buy whatever dollar you wanted. You could buy a fucking
It's all
Kabillion
based on the
pesos.
same thing. Nothing.
Alright, alright.
None of your money out there is based. It's only worth something because you
Think it's
because it has a value to
It's
you.
only
Right.
got, like,
Absolutely.
its weight is what you think
you
its
have
weight is.
no idea how wholeheartedly I agree with you, and this is not the right show for it.
We're doing it right now.
So you got
My whole
that.
Venus project.
So
bit.
now they take the
Here it is, finally.
baseline of your belief, and you believe it just because you fucking have to. What choice do you have? You have to believe in your dollar.
Everyone,
What else are you gonna fucking buy shit with?
right?
Right.
Everyone accepts this.
There's
And
like
then-
a bit dollar, though, isn't
And
there?
then they're like, oh, you know what? We'll take care of the poor. Who used to do that before? Before there was welfare, who took care of the poor? Who
Churches,
took care of the sick?
churches.
religion.
That's
Who took care of your poor and your sick? Bring me
Jesus.
exactly. So your
yeah, Buddha,
government,
he didn't even want to care what
your government,
No, man, because it
I'm
didn't
sorry.
matter
Was that
now.
Buddha? Take care of
Buddha
the
didn't want to
they
care
take
with your
care
sick.
of
He
the
didn't want
belief
anything.
al-
It was like
already.
Nirvana. It was,
And then
I
they're
don't
like,
want-
whoa. There you go.
We literally just had no. We literally just you were having two side conversations in a microphone. and it turned into noise.
Ha! Take that, listeners.
Finish your point.
All I'm saying is the government, so they took your base, your belief, your dollar, and they turned that into a belief, which you didn't have before, and they gave it to you even though you didn't even fucking know what happened.
Printed right on the top of it. In God we trust.
And then
I
God
hate that
meaning
saying.
money.
I hate that saying.
God means money.
they took your
This is America.
welfare, and then they took your health care, and they took it over. Your church used to take care of your sick and your poor. Now the government takes care of your
I
sick
will
and
agree
your
with you
poor.
that it is not the government's job to take care of its people.
It's not your government's job to do anything but to protect your individual liberty.
It's
And
actually
boundaries.
their job only to
And graphic boundaries. I want an army to protect somebody from coming over here
It's
and taking my
really-
shit from me.
Listen,
it's their
that's
job.
part of protecting your individual liberties. Him doing something that fucks up my liberty is the government's job to take care of that.
All right, I was just rolling my eyes because we keep it and the talking and the great.
There's
and
too many
I love
good
this.
talkers in the room. It's impossible.
Point
Sorry for
three.
yelling.
What was point three? What was your
Something
third thing
along
on
the
table?
same lines is
What he said.
Social Security.
Oh, my gosh,
yes,
that's a good one.
And a lot of these things, I just have not a solution to any of these, just things I don't like.
You would like
about
to
it.
see them repaired somehow?
Yes, and it's something that, like, as a business owner, again, because it affects me directly, maybe I'm being selfish about it, but it fucking sucks to
You're
pay
a
that.
super small business owner. Are you actually going to be affected by
Yeah, wow, he's even smaller than my family. Yeah,
Hold on,
man.
Social Security is ridiculous for me. Like, because I pay as
Because
an
you're an
employer
employee.
You pay what your
and
employees.
employee.
Because you're an employee of the company.
Right.
Okay,
I'm an
that's
employer.
the differences in my
I'm an right. It's a partnership that I have.
To
So
Q&A, how many employees do you have?
it's just the two of us.
Just the two of
Yes.
you? Jesus Christ, there's a Will
Just
Smith
the
song
two
about
of 'em.
that.
That's why I
We
asked
can
for
make it
donations,
make
because
it
as if
Yes.
people come into the shop and buy comics, that benefits Dave and Mike. I get zero fucking dollars.
So
Right.
for
So
fuck's
fucking
sake,
donate to my show,
donate
you
to
fucking
Second Prince. They have a button
saying.
for it. It's a terrible, soulless thing to do, but please.
But click the
to it.
fucking button.
It's value for value. If you
Listen,
find value in the
listen.
show, donate.
You
I'll tell
call
you
them
right now.
soulless for donations.
No. Hold on. Listen, today, you can buy a McChicken for $1, or you can pay somebody
Now
for
that's
making
soulless.
a fucking podcast. Now, a
With
McChicken
thoughts.
is like literally 35%
Hey, when you drove
chicken.
to work yesterday and it took 20 minutes and it was all commercials, you could have been listening to my show
For
with
free.
Zero commercials. I'm just saying.
Chickens have no souls, was my point, really.
No, my point was what John went to is that you're calling people no soulless for having donation buttons, and you're talking to the two biggest plug whores on the face of the podcast.
I was actually calling McChickens soulless because all chickens have no souls.
I'm
They're the
calling
apple of
me
the
and
meat
you.
world.
I'm calling
You have
me and you
not
soulless.
experienced life until you drank a chicken soul.
You can do that. I have a recipe for chicken beer. I've never made it because it takes an exceptionally long time, and it does involve putting a chicken carcass in your beer. How gross does that seem? Like, I'm not doing it. You guys will never come over and have chicken beer, but I will send you home with some Hideaway Brewery beer tonight that you can put in your fridge and drink later. We had none cold for the night because it's all too heavy. It's fall beer. Good news, it's almost fall.
Fantastic.
Wait a minute, you call that fall beer?
The heavy beer?
I just call that my favorite
I
beer.
love beer.
Hideaway
that makes me
Brewery.
fall.
Well, I make that. It's made out of mostly honey.
I love how the soulless thing turned into a plug for Hideaway Brewery, and it's also going to turn into a plug for Second Print Podcast.
Yeah, check them out at Second Prince. That's the number 2 ndprince.co/.
Or secondprince.com spelled out, because I fucking own that shit.
Did you?
Yeah, buddy.
I found it at
Or secondprince.net or
the
.biz
code.
or
None of it. It's all Second Print.
it's all ours.
We just have .com.
So-
Everybody else can get everything else.
I'm sorry that I'm dominating this interview with my all-expansive question.
I was just trying to get the Second Print plug in there.
I'm all right with it, but it's time to ask our other guest the same question. And so we're going to hang in there for another hour and a half because we're about to hear a fucking thesis. I hope.
All right. Talking. No.
Different answers.
The question was 3 most important talking points to you.
If you had 3 things to put on the table, and by the end of 3 days, 1 day per thing, the United States government would have to solve these 3 issues in a way that pleased the populace.
Do I get to?
How would you? What would be your first thing?
I'd really like a Ferrari.
It's your number one. Right. It's like, what does it take to get John from Second Prince a Ferrari?
Oh, no, he fits right in with Congress and Senate. I need a raise. Ka-ching.
I'm kidding. The first thing that I would do, the first thing that I would want them to address
Do I get to answer this
is
question? No.
987 military bases in 187 countries.
But we're a country, not a global empire.
Hold on.
That is the number one problem with our government.
Can I hear
it there?
Listen, I would like to hear those numbers again, please, for all of our listeners to hear them completely uninterrupted.
Basically, 1,000 bases in 200 countries.
Now, how many of those bases are on United States territories? Do you have that number?
There's only 200 and 10 countries
I don't
in
know,
the world?
like 15.
I think it's more than 15. I do think it's more than like.
But I made 50 wouldn't be too far off a number.
Do you think that
How many
200
states?
countries is too many?
There's 210 countries in the world or something like that. 210
Well,
to
it's like
220, something like that.
187 or something. That's where we actually have
Do I think
bases.
that number of country like what was your back question?
Bases. There's like 900 and
Our military presence
There's
in the
1,000 bases in 200 countries.
correct.
Right. We're gonna go with that because it's easy for everybody to.
That right. They're around those numbers.
So, for every country, we have 5 bases.
Pretty much.
Thank you for doing the simple math,
I
sir.
did. I did that just now. You're welcome.
Big
That was
ones
live.
we could get rid of. Germany, the richest country in Europe.
Why can we get rid of that?
No, whoa.
Well, because we don't have
What
like
stops
2 bases there. 5 bases. We don't
But
have 5
history has
bases.
taught us that Germany's not allowed
Are you
to have
gonna
an
let
army.
fear fucking drive your decisions, you pussy?
Yes! Yes, I am! Yes, because there's a certain
it's
amount
not
of
really-
fear that is healthy for
Hey,
you.
Let
Fear's
them
on-
take over that whole fucking cesspool.
Oh, they can have it as long as they say the shit off my country. I don't give a fuck what they do.
If it wasn't for us, you know, like everybody says, hey, if it wasn't for us, everybody'd be speaking German. If it wasn't for...
It's stupid.
If it wasn't for
If,
the
if
Germans,
it
everybody
wasn't-
would be speaking English.
No, if it wasn't for us,
Like
everybody...
English.
If it wasn't for us, all of Europe would be speaking Russia. Because let's face it, they fucking won this shit, not us.
Yep. I don't know that I would say that
They
you're
would have
right.
thrown people at that.
But
just like
without
the
us, you're
Vietnamese
right.
throw
They would have
people
won.
like at us.
Completely without us, they would have been
What
right.
you want to say is that they would have been willing to take the step that we weren't willing to take, is what you're selling to say.
Well,
They'd have been willing to take
Destroying
that
new
not so
civilian
cold
populated
step.
They
cities.
took Berlin.
Yes.
They took Berlin.
We did that.
Not us. They took Berlin.
And we defended.
We did not take Berlin. Russia took Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Nazi Germany pushed Russia back far enough. They regrouped and then kicked fucking Germany's ass. We got Asia out of the war with a bomb.
Yes.
Yeah,
Russia,
that big one.
Russia got Germany out of the war by sacrificing 20 million fucking people.
That's a pretty solid fucking point you make there. Because, like, it's easy to say that, like, what
Not that we didn't lose millions of people.
but
our
the point
guys
you're
are
making-
definitely worth it. But the only reason Japan dropped the bomb on Hiroshima,
No, we
the
did
same-
that.
or
Yeah.
the only reason
We're
Japan
nuking
dropped
ourselves. This is horseshit. It's a protest. It's the most effective
the
protest.
only reason they attacked Pearl Harbor was because we were sanctioning Japan. We instigated that attack.
We did.
No one wants to fucking say that out loud.
Wait, what? Which attack?
We instigated Pearl Harbor.
I think we allowed it to happen. I don't know about instigated.
We instigated it.
Because of the
No, he's right. We instigated
the
it.
civilian ship full of armament.
We asked the craziest people on Earth to fight us. We really did.
Yes.
We sanctioned.
Here's my chin. Punch me. And look what they got for it.
We sanctioned their country. We cut off their food supply. We cut off their oil.
Yeah.
We set up Navy ships around their country and sanctioned them. It's the same thing. It's the same reasons why Muslims fucking hate us too. It's the same reasons.
Well, that's the difference why
we
Cubans
want to fucking rule the world. And listen, all you fucking assholes out there abroad, listen up. We're fucking kings, and you fucking better bow to us.
And apparently it's
we
hard.
will roll over you.
Apparently outside of Puerto Rico, it is hard to listen to the show outside of the country. I don't know why that is. But
what I think I would like to...
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get you guys blacklisted on with us.
Right, all right, we're good with it. Because if the NSA is listening, at least somebody is. And it costs them a ton of money to listen to our free podcasts. So, I'm good with that. Take that, American people.
Right.
It makes us...
I don't agree with that. I was being sarcastic.
I would like to point out that was point 1. Point 2.
Hold on, I'm redeveloping my question back.
You really know.
Do you have a follow-up? Do you really have a follow-up?
I almost did, but I lost it in the ridiculous
chase. Then let's go 2.
All right. In my
second thing you can throw on the table.
You really know who's part of who brings up all the political stuff in the show.
Yes, you do. Really? Like, I listen to it.
I listen to them, and like, yeah,
I only asked you first so that you would have an opportunity to talk.
I have my own opinion, but I'm not as passionate about it as he is.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I know what's
like
going
your
on in the
opinion requires. It's a much more rational opinion. It
Yeah,
requires
you're
much
like
less
the normal guy here out of the 4 of us, which is strange.
No, I mean, I just talk about things that, trying to affect me really directly. All this stuff affects me, but this is stuff that really affects me directly.
I think it's awful that we send kids overseas to fucking die so assholes can get
rich white man's war.
Right.
To fight a rich white man's war.
Bullshit. And that's my first point. I don't think we should send kids to die so fucking Hillary Clinton's oil company can make money. And if you don't think Hillary Clinton has an oil company, fucking look at your SEC record.
I was gonna say.
I don't know.
I'll
take your word for
it. Dick Cheney has an oil responsible company.
No, he's the only one who gets mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, but he's got
you're
the biggest of the companies over there.
Obama, Clinton's, all of them. If they're
of course they do.
Office, there's the only reason they send people over there is to fucking make them rich.
But
why is everybody so fucking surprised?
But don't you want to elect your smartest people? Yeah. Don't you want to elect your smartest people? Don't you want your smartest people to be able to...
No, I said smartest, not richest.
No, but don't you expect that your smartest people would be able to dupe you?
The smartest person we've ever had on this podcast was
Not
a couple
on
of
the
weeks ago.
podcast.
No.
Running the
But it's a small example. It's a small example.
I don't even think this is a matter of being duped. I think it's a matter of the majority of people are like exactly what you guys said on your podcast a few weeks ago. Are fucking happy with their fucking laptops.
Absolutely. They're shiny
That
things.
was on your podcast, actually.
No, we mentioned it on our show.
You said it. That's why I brought it up.
I thought we said it on yours, because I feel certain
I think you did. You did.
No,
It's
we
actually
really
a point I make.
Yeah.
Nobody revolts until there's no food. You can't start a revolution without
3
food.
meals.
Or with food. With food, nobody's going to revolt. It's not going to happen.
We did it once before. We can do it again.
We don't need revolution.
We don't. You're right.
We
You're
need
correct.
British
You
Security
can vote
Services.
2016. I've already said I'm running for office. You can vote for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure that I can.
I absolutely have already endorsed you on
not
Twitter.
On the ballot, but only because I feel like I disagree with you on certain key issues in a completely
Hey, listen.
intellectual way.
We've endorsed you on Twitter.
Hey.
John for president.
Do you think a Republican's going to do a good job?
No!
Absolutely not.
Do you think a Democrat's going to do a good job?
No,
Also,
sir.
No.
Why not if you're going to throw your vote away, because if you vote for a Republican or a Democrat, you're throwing your vote away.
I
Vote
think
for me.
I'm
actually not. I'm actually voting for the one that I hope to God wins out of these two awful candidates.
That's the majority. And that is the
If you're gonna
majority of
shoot-
the American fucking people.
If you're going to
That's the
shoot
fucking
yourself in the
problem.
foot,
Since I've been
Listen.
a registered voter, I've
Hold on.
never voted Democrat or Republican.
if you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, don't you think you ought to aim for the little toe?
What's the lesser of two evils?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So,
That's
like, you
a
don't shoot
fucking
yourself in the middle of the
That
foot.
is a piss poor fucking attitude.
But
that really
Well,
is.
fuck you, that's how I waste my vote.
system, so I'll just play along because I'm with you, John.
Sorry.
I agree with
That's
Stacey.
okay, I agree with you.
I agree with
You're right.
Stacey.
I'm a fucking pussy about that shit. But if you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, shouldn't it be
good.
your little toe?
Hey, listen,
Oh.
there's no reason you can't go to your local libertarian
You can talk over him here. It's not
party
his show.
meeting.
My show. Talk.
You can talk over me on our show too.
I actually agree
Hey,
with.
would you just shut
I also agree with Stacey. I
This
think
is why we
Stacey
need
has a great
stereo
point.
separation.
Stacey has a great point.
Don't I?
I
Always?
really do think he's got a good point.
What was his point?
Because you know, John from Second Prince is not going to be invited to any TV show. He's not going to be shown publicly.
Nope.
Until we get a camera.
you're
And a
just
TV
voting
station.
for who you think is going to win.
You gotta
No.
pick. You gotta
Instead
pick
of
the
voting
little
for who
place.
can make a difference.
You don't get right in
nobody
there
can
and box
'cause the system
Merriweather.
doesn't
If you want to
work.
make a difference, there's no reason that anybody can't go to their local party that isn't the Republican or Democrat party and be involved.
That's his question.
You can be involved with the Libertarian Party, the Green Party, which, hey, listen, the Green Party's wicked socialist. I don't agree with them at all. But I would
think
rather
socialism-
you fucking
Socialism.
vote for them than vote for a Republican.
I
or
would rather
Democrat.
do that too, but I feel like I have to vote against somebody in this country, which I hate. I hate it.
Yeah,
I fucking
vote
hate it.
against the Republican and the Democrat.
I'm a Republican. I vote against Republicans. I fucking hate it. I wish that they would just be real fucking people.
The last election, I voted for Gary Johnson for president. I voted for the two guys in Rochester who are actually running for some office. They were on the Libertarian ticket.
Senate?
If you had to lump me into a group, I would say I was Libertarian, but I really don't even want to say I'm that anymore. I'm not even happy with the Libertarians anymore.
I don't either. I don't.
Okay, I'm just
That's why I
tired of
don't
it.
say I'm running as a
All right.
or as a Libertarian.
So, John's first point
Thank you for
wants a
taking notes.
Ferrari. Second point.
Hey,
Stop fucking him. What's your third point? What would be the third thing for the third day of
Listen,
delivery?
if I have to stop fucking him, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm done podcast.
second point was still war. I don't want
Yeah,
war.
stop fucking
Peace,
me.
baby, peace.
That's the
I think
same
war is
thing.
bad. No,
I'm sorry. Stop fucking me with bullets. Was your second point?
The only thing war's
Stop
good
fucking
for
me to death.
is
Was your second
money.
my third point is it's long down the list. Welfare is pretty far down on my list of shit to get rid of.
So
Let's take serious
What's
shit
your
Right.
I got if welfare is
that.
stuck, because welfare is
Don't go back.
It's not on
your-
my
your
list
good
either.
point.
No, I can
If I
see his
got
point.
rid of,
I'm not going back.
if I got rid of,
You're good. I
War.
like your points.
if I got rid of war, welfare would kind of be affordable. So
Yeah, it
You
kind of
really would. Out of the 10 million, you'd be like,
get rid
okay, go ahead.
We would just stop blowing shit up.
At least you agree. My choice is to help fucking starving people in my country or quit blowing up brown people in sand.
Yes.
Not
are
for
you
nothing.
gonna do?
Hold on now. Isn't
Go back to your base.
isn't 2 tons of explosive worth 300 million brown people and 24,000 miles of sand?
But he brings up a
I
very
hate
valid
having to-
I know you were going for
How
the
much
line
you
there,
pay?
but
I hated it.
How
I'm
much-
not saying it. I hated
How
it.
much in gasoline you pay? A week?
$3.77 today.
No, not per gallon.
Roughly $40 a week for me.
So you're a 10 gallon
100.
man. How much? 100. So
100.
you're a 25 gallon man. Okay. So $100 a week. You're at
$40.
$40 a week.
I'm not going to argue. Most of that's diesel, so
Whatever.
the prices change.
You weren't going to argue. Don't argue.
Now I'm talking about taxes now.
Yeah.
Not talking about
I get
that.
on this with traffic lights, actually.
So, you get rid of taxes, period.
Yes, sir. I'm
Except
listening.
A gas tax, it's $4 a gallon. Wow. But you have no other taxes.
I'm not good with that.
But $4 a gallon gas tax, but gas is only $1 a gallon, so you're paying $5 a gallon total, but no taxes, no sales tax, no income tax, no nothing, no property, no school,
We're
no
only
nothing.
talking about federal.
Only on the
federal?
federal level.
So the county still gets you for 4% sales.
Oh, yeah.
So school's still there, property's still there,
Right.
but no sales, no income on the federal.
No income.
No income, period.
No tax on cigarettes, no tax on anything that the federal government taxes.
Okay.
Capital gains tax, just tax on gasoline. $4 a gallon.
You're at a states' rights kind of point of view here.
$4 a gallon balances our budget without fucking doing anything else.
I'm not a mathematician. I can't do
Is
that math that quick.
All I know is I pay $4 a fucking week.
Wait, we already
Or
paid
$40
$4 a gallon.
I pay $10. I
You're
get
talking, wait, to clarify, we already paid pretty close to $4. Are you talking
yes,
the
you're
price of
doubling
gas
your fucking gas.
plus $4 a gallon
That's
for
correct.
federal tax, but no federal tax?
Well, if there are federal taxes included in the $4 that you're paying now, you can subtract that.
But you're saying what we pay now plus $4, but no federal income tax, no federal tax at the end of the year.
That's what you pay.
$8.75 a gallon, and that's all you pay for the Fed? Well, I don't feel like that people that don't drive cars are not
Doing their fair
contributing.
share. Well, that's
Yeah,
easy
right.
to get rid of. RT.
You know, fucking people who are not driving cars
It's not federal.
are doing their
It's not
share.
easy. It sounds easy when you say it, but
because
it's not.
The
at
cars
all.
do an awful lot of polluting that causes an awful
The
lot of
state-
issues.
the state
People who are
pays
not
that.
driving cars are still fucking doing their share.
The state pays that. Nobody's exempt from this tax. Zero people. Farm people, they don't pay fucking fuel tax now.
Hey, that's right. You're right. No,
They
on
pay
diesel
that
and kerosene.
The fucking bus pays that tax.
Huh.
I'm looking at usage times what it costs to fucking fund this country.
John, I would like to say that I will research that. I probably
Go
won't.
ahead, my math
But
is good.
it's a
When I did
it's
it
a
the
pretty
first time,
sound
I
point.
thought it was 4 cents, and then I fucking looked again. It's $4.
Yeah. when you include that all the productive people use it, all the people that produce things,
There's
spend
no way
gas money.
around fucking.
And if the
separating
buses have to pay it, then
assholes
fare
from
goes up.
people who produce. There's no way to listen. I know plenty of people who fucking suck off the system who should probably get shot in the fucking face because they're useless assholes.
Hey, to all of our listeners who are, as John put it, useless asiners,
I'm
Sucking
not
off
saying
of the
suck
system.
off the system.
I'm not saying a person who's unemployed is and collecting an unemployment check.
Well,
It's
no,
useless.
because there's certain legality there. Yeah.
I am saying, like, people who are obviously abusing it.
Yes.
People are like, I'm on Social Security disability, but I hunt all fucking winter.
You know
I
what,
drive a nice truck.
John?
And I fucking cut wood and do all kinds of shit
I would like
that a fucking disability person shouldn't do.
I told you at the start of this, and I was wrong to do it because I agree with you on that. There
But-
are people who abuse, and there are people who just need it.
I would like to point
There's
out
hardly anybody who needs it.
that for the
There
last
are
3
some.
months,
Dude, there is
Hold
something that everybody can do.
I would like to
I-
point out.
If you're
I'm
willing
with you
to,
on that.
John,
Let Corey point out.
wait.
Please,
I'm
Jesus,
sorry,
his
man.
head's gonna
No, I just
explode.
want to make one point, then you go back to doing your thing. I like to point out for the last 3 months I've been unemployed. I could have qualified for unemployment, but I didn't do it. Do you know why?
Had to make AirWreck Radio,
I make enough money doing side jobs,
not AirWreck Radio.
and doing handyman work that I wasn't fair for me to collect that kind of money off the government. But there are people out there that don't have the skills that I have.
you're an idiot.
Why? Because I didn't
I
suck up the
don't
tit?
think that's
You
true.
should have took the money. And
No,
fucking
because
done
I know
your
because
side
there are
jobs.
people out there that I know
How can you call
who
somebody
deserve the
that
money
does
that
what
I
you
pay
say
in taxes?
people do
Listen,
in wrongness?
Because in 2 months he'll have his fucking normal job back,
You're right.
and
So-
he fucking deserves to get his. You fucking paying your entire goddamn life.
So
Your entire life. Hey, listen, do the math. You put in your Social Security for 50 fucking 60 years. You would have been better off putting that money under a goddamn mattress than giving it to them fuckers.
Amen.
They don't know.
Amen. At least you'd owned it.
I've done the math. When you do the math, all this stuff makes you fucking blow your brains out.
It really does. How much
school taxes? It's $20,000. You fucking idiots.
But you're right.
My kid is dropping out at 15. I am not having him go to this goddamn school a minute longer than
big education, baby.
GED straight to college. He can have his fucking master's degree at 21.
You're absolutely correct about that. The American public school system is absolutely fucked. Yeah, I would agree with you 100% on that.
In every lane.
Get
if
out as
anybody
quick
taught
as you
their
can.
kid, hey, listen, and I tell you what, anybody who is of color listening to this podcast,
I'm of color.
We have black listeners.
Welfare was a design to keep you in your place, and you should rise above it. Because Lyndon B. Johnson said, I can get these N-word to fucking vote for Democrats for 200
LBJ,
years.
baby. LBJ. The forgotten president.
Yeah. Listen, it's just a way to enslave you. You are enslaved if you're taking the government toll. You are better than that. What, you're not worth fucking anything, so you have to take a handout? You don't have to do that.
But see,
now I sound like that fat fucking asshole Rush Limbaugh.
Why would you talk about me like that? I'm right here.
I said
Not you, somebody who has listeners.
Oh, and money.
Still.
Real money.
Real money. All right.
He is a douche.
But I gotta stop. Fuck. All right, go on. Never mind. Fuck, we'll do it on the. I got my own show.
I was getting around to you.
Go ahead. No.
So, to backtrack, I asked, what would your 3 things be?
Like 3 hours ago, you asked that.
Yes. Dave's first thing I lost somehow. His second thing would be
Ferrari.
Healthcare.
Oh no, Dave, you wanted welfare.
Dave's his second thing was health. Oh, that's right. It was welfare, healthcare, followed by health insurance, followed by Social Security.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are pretty good.
You hit the 3 good talking points, brother. That's
John said he wants a Ferrari.
yes.
He wants to stop getting fucked. And by getting fucked, what he meant was he doesn't want to fight more than one war at a time.
Because
I don't want to fight any war.
Or perhaps,
if you meant the other kind of fucked, he would really like that, actually.
or perhaps 0 wars, if we can imagine that.
I even like 30-06.
Just one, though. And God don't
Move
hammer
slow.
it. Yeah, it's slow. And his third point was a federal gas tax of $4 per gallon, and then no.
Wow, that sounds really bad.
But then no other taxes from the Fed.
And then if you move to Florida, no taxes at fuck all.
Taxes are fucked up.
They are fucked up.
Like nobody has looked at it in a logical way. It's like I've looked at
in
it
over
in a
30
way.
years.
That was a recap.
Nobody has touched.
All right, I'm sorry.
In the radio business, that was what we call a recap.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do.
Moving on to Corey. Corey, if you had 3 things to put on the table before Congress right now, what would they be?
Immigration reform.
Immigration reform.
That's right. Let
Why?
everybody in.
Anybody who can prove that they're able-bodied to work and willing to take the steps to sign the guest book on the way through the door should be welcome to this country. If you want to skate the laws, you should be persecuted as a criminal.
What if you already skated the laws?
I like this guy.
What if you already
skated
did
the
it
laws?
because you had to?
But my
get here.
my original definition does not change, even though you had to skate the laws to get here. If you can prove that after you've already been here, that you've been a law-abiding, successful citizen that's been
With a job.
Yeah, has been working to do the right things, then fucking you're absolutely welcome to be here. That's what we are here for, is to take you. If you are a freaking criminal, I don't want to pay to put you in prison. I don't want to pay to put you through the judicial system. I want to put you on a fucking bus or a plane back to whatever country you're on. You're
put
from.
people on a bus to Cuba. Just saying.
On a plane, whatever, and
Buses don't go
sit there and call that the permanent solution. And apply the way you're supposed to. If you're really
something wrong with this bus,
I'm the grandson of immigrants. They're Canadian immigrants, but I'm the grandson of immigrants. And they came here and they signed the fucking guest book. That's all they had to do. They said, hey, we're here. We're going to pay our taxes.
Really fucking hard to become a citizen these days.
Not for Corey. He's Canadian.
No, but you don't have to. If you want to become a citizen, you should be able to. But you don't have to become a citizen. You can be a resident alien. I'm fine with that. My grandparents didn't have the right to vote because they weren't citizens. But they were allowed to live here and do business and pay their taxes.
And now
there's nothing wrong with that.
Thanks, America.
Are you sure that wants it to change?
What do you mean?
Well,
you can be a resident alien. That's still
why would
my father is an American citizen. My father's a resident alien.
Because they have no intention of ever going back, and they also, I think, want the entitlements.
No, that he's okay not having the entitlement.
Right? No, your dad's good.
That's
because his kids got.
No, my question was, if people can do that, why don't they do that if it's that easy?
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. You have to apply for a green card and be approved and show you have a job and a place to live. It means the green card process.
To be a resident alien.
To be a resident alien. That's not a citizen. That's different things.
It's very hard. A pain in the ass.
Oh, it's very hard. But my grandfather came here. He came here on a work visa.
That was the thing that I was like not sure of when you were talking. I know my sister married a fucking filthy Indian.
Like Native American or Dot?
No, from India.
Dot.
And it took like 3 years for him to become a citizen. He couldn't come over. It was a pain in the ass.
It was a pain in the fucking ass. My grandfather.
I don't mean that all Indians are filthy. I just really fucking hate this guy.
That's a good thing to point out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's not that they're all filthy, just this one.
Listen, I even felt uncomfortable PC hairs go on,
which is
and I don't give a fuck.
I hate it. So,
well, even when you said that, I felt the PC
I hate the way they say wedgie delight.
Where you're like, ooh, you should have said that.
Indian friend, and he's great. I don't. He's just the only Indian I really know.
He's just a dirtbag with your fucking sister. That's
how I feel about deaf people.
Whoa, we live in Rochester, dude.
Yeah, you know what? Good news about deaf people.
They don't listen to podcasts.
Right. Fuck deaf people. They don't know. Fuck them.
I think it's really hard to go through the proper channels, and even someone that's been working here for a while.
It is, but it should be hard.
And it's hard, and so that's why a lot of people do it illegally.
It shouldn't be impossible. But it should be not easy.
It shouldn't cost more than $15.
I agree with that. It shouldn't cost a dime. It shouldn't cost a fucking dollar.
It costs thousands.
You're right. You're right. It does.
Raised hand. Raised hand. I'm in a room currently where we're having a conversation about immigration with 3 clearly white people, perhaps 4.
Are you blind?
Dave.
Are you blind? I'm clearly black.
He's black from the waist down.
I actually am black.
I'm always so random bag search. I'm just telling you that right now.
So you're not like me.
There has been Muhammad-like moments in
you
your
just
life.
happen to be. It's rather
Italian gentleman, I'm thinking.
Rather than being Aryan, you happen to be swarthy. I'll tell you, the good thing about swarthy is it doesn't come with the hate crimes that Aryan background comes with. It sucks to be Aryan and happy with it, but being swarthy sounds sexy as fuck.
Dave's always sexy.
Swarthy people have the advantage of being like, I'm swarthy instead of Aryan.
All right.
The 3 of us are like,
all right,
all
right. I had,
I would say you're angry.
It's fine. No, I love it.
Sorry.
I'm all for it.
What?
I had immigration reform.
Blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
Let the man talk.
And then we went into genetics.
Immigration reform. Well, we were still on immigration.
Right.
Clearly, one of these things is not like the other.
What is your next point?
The war on drugs.
Oh, the war on drugs. Isn't that
that's
over
a
yet?
Super point.
The war on drugs.
The government fucking lost.
yeah. Bingo.
As soon
it's
as
over.
they said
People
it was
like
a war.
drugs. Get over it.
What? You can't. But I do those. Said the people in the 70s and 80s.
You know what's crazy?
This guy.
You can, it's like you can go down to name your favorite bar that has a Coke dealer, or you can go to your fucking doctor and get Adderall.
I had
What's the
3 names
difference?
until he said
Isn't that
coke
messed
dealer,
up?
and then I was
I
like,
agree with that. I saw a sign on a drugstore the other day. It said drugstore, and I was like, what kind of message is that sending to my children?
yeah,
That
I
drug
tell them
dealers
drugs
are bad, but
You know what?
drugstores
You know
are
what
okay.
the
Right.
real problem is? They're like, oh, don't do marijuana, don't do marijuana, don't do any of these other drugs too, but marijuana's a gateway drugs, and then people are like, they
you're
smoke
right.
some
It's a gateway
dope,
to munchies and some
they
happiness
smoke-
and a
they
nap.
smoke some dope, and they're like, they were totally fucking lying. I'm gonna try some other stuff.
I don't think that's what happens.
I think it's totally what
No,
it is,
that's
but-
the drug
but
addict attitude. That has nothing to do with the pot. That was just, I'm a fucking addict, man.
In 30% of people, I will agree that that's probably what. If you take the
27.3.
hold on. If you take the 50% of people who do drugs versus the 50% who
think
don't,
it's that high. Well, no.
Are you
I think
kidding me?
It's higher. I
higher.
think it's like
Yeah.
90.
No, I think that I'm splitting
When-
hairs here,
when you
going
put-
the other way.
No,
Yeah.
when you say
Yeah.
90, when I say 90, you got to include all the people who are on Adderall and Valium.
So I'm going to break it
and
down to 50 because I want the people who know what they're doing.
Ritalin and all that other stuff that's really fun to blow up your nose.
Out of the pretend 50% of people who use drugs, 30% of them at least, whether it's pharmaceutical or otherwise, I think that out of that 50, which is probably higher than 50, 30% at least use a different drug because you ever use Sudafed? Didn't you feel like it was okay to have an
I took,
ibuprofen with it?
I took like 8 Sudafed today.
I'm gonna
Did I
kill
have
myself.
a Vicodin and
I'm
4 beers?
done with
Yes,
life.
I
I'm
did.
taking 8
This
Sudafed.
fucking runny nose will not go away.
Oh, urine allergies. That's
I
right.
hate allergies.
Oh, brother, I'm a hay fever mother. Oh,
What about
my.
Generally, I hate if drugs aren't fun, they're not fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. all right, all right.
They're
Let
just
him get back
drugs
to
Because
his
then.
point
eventually
here.
I have to take a pee.
Yeah.
My third point, voting reform.
Oh my goodness! I think that you covered all of my same points.
Really?
I'm sorry, best friend.
Voting reform. What do you mean by voting reform?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that we're campaigning for 2016.
Fuck.
I think it's ridiculous the amount of money that's allowed to be spent on marketing. I think that if you're not involved in the process, then you don't want to be involved in the process, and the amount of marketing that is done will not and cannot help you be involved in the process. I think there should be a cap. I think donations should be illegal. And I think that there should be a time frame in when you can start to run for office.
I
Are
absolutely
you saying taxpayers who fucking pay for these assholes to fuck?
No, it should be out of
No.
their pocket.
no. I
Out of
absolutely
their
agree
pocket, not
that
mine.
there should be some sort of cap.
I like that.
How is there not? How could someone spend $1 billion on running for an election? That's ridiculous.
I would like to.
Can it be some sort of fair playing ground here? They do it in freaking
How
football.
can John become president? He doesn't have $20 million.
Right. But he could be completely qualified.
Absolutely, by the brain in his head.
It would cost at least 3 to get on the ballot.
To even get a name on the print at
Right.
the bottom of the
3
list.
million to get on the ballot in all 50 states. That's before I've raised money for ads.
I'm sorry if
or
I stole your thunder there.
$3 million.
points.
$3 million just to get on the ballot. Period. As president, or you can just write in John.
I like right in John.
Just John.
Just
feel like-
John! Right in Just John! I like it.
Actually, he is the
Like it's
the liberate.
Marion. It's just John, not just only him.
Just John.
He's part of the liberate
Liberate.
Party.
Is he part of
From
Liberate
continuum
from the future?
from the
That's right.
future. Stacy,
Well,
what
instead
are
of blowing up buildings, I want to run for office.
what are
All right,
your,
I'm going to go Pete. What's your 3
what are your points?
The same as Corey's points.
What? No, you got something else.
I want immigration reform.
Did you whip them out and compare them?
No, I already had mine because I had to type down all of yours. Your first point was the
I don't
welfare
like
thing.
Lamborghini. That's not a fair point.
Well, it's too bad. Yeah, no, it was actually Ferrari.
Yeah, so get it right, dude.
Whatever.
Well,
Expensive car I'll never own.
guess who doesn't remember what your legitimate first point was? This guy. Guess who does remember what this guy's first point is? This guy. Immigration reform. I feel like
My first legitimate point was no wars.
that was your second one. Stop fucking me. That was your second one.
You're the second person to say that to me.
Today or out of all time? That's an important point to clarify for people who probably
Leave
punched out
something
long
to the
ago.
imagination.
So my first point is immigration reform. Wow. But I don't think that I take the same point as everybody here.
That's what we do best: agree but disagree.
Well, I'm going to say that if I can just have the floor for just a second. It's been pointed out to me that Republicans, conservatives, shot down immigration reform because it was a Democrat pony, and Democrats were just going to say, we had a horse to the race, and you just shot it down because it was the only horse at the race. I gotta say, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, that's a good point against Republicans. Where's their horse? Their horse isn't even at the race. It's not even, they don't have, their thing is like, we're gonna get the Republican, the conservatives. Their point is like, we want, what do they want? They want to stop illegal immigration before they allow a path to citizenship. And I think that's fucking retarded. Get a path to citizenship. What are you going to do with all those fucking illegals? You're not going to deport them. Stop fucking mincing hairs with me. Somebody got a plan to the fucking gate that wasn't a terrible fucking plan. Can't we vote on it and reform it as we go? Because that's how this democracy works. This democracy, a republic. Isn't that what we do, is we get a horse to the gate, and then we be like, well, that horse was obviously hoofed wrong. We'll just change its hooves instead of its shoes.
This is why you're not allowed to drink beer and only allowed to drink whiskey.
I like the way you said it. Hooves.
Hooves. Who is?
Republicans want to change the horse's fucking hooves. Democrats got a horse to the gate. Isn't the blacksmith right when he's like, no, guys, we can compromise with a horseshoe?
Well, it's the same with crime. If you look at like crime and prop,
I don't feel like it is, but go
crime
ahead.
and poverty,
Show me why.
It's like okay, so we want to stop people from stealing shit. Like most of our crime is people stealing shit and people who are addicted to shit. And instead of fucking dealing with poverty and fucking addiction, we deal
the
with
two biggest
throwing
threats of
them in
society.
fucking jail. That's why we have the largest prison population.
Amen, brother. Preach it.
Because we're not worried about dealing with the fucking problem. We're too worried about
Punishing the product of the problem.
We do
Absolutely.
commonly consider ourselves with punishing, and when we were on your show, it was during the Trayvon Martin thing, and that thing was all about punishing. It wasn't about justice, it was about punishing. Because justly, that dude shot that dude justly. It wasn't right, but it was justly.
But you had the best point I've ever heard.
Of course I did.
If they got rid of all welfare, there would be no poverty because we wouldn't count them as people anymore.
If I had the time, what would we do with them?
Just saying.
Right.
If I don't count them anymore. If
They
I
would be those ant people from fucking
same
space.
thing
in
as like
District 9.
it's the same thing as like if you've been on unemployment so long that you're not collecting unemployment,
They don't count you
you're
anymore.
not unemployed anymore.
They don't count that towards the
Aren't
stat.
looking
Isn't
for
that
work.
a funny thing about unemployment? Is like they call these people who have given up on the system, but really didn't the system just give up on them?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
It's a hard job market out there for.
Hey,
Listen, dude, I am a qualified dude who can do a lot of things.
Look at how well
it was
he
hard
can
for me to find a job.
listen. You're working, right?
I'm just getting a new job now. I've been working because I'm qualified to do a lot of
other
things.
Yes.
And I've been able to do things
Under
on the
and
side.
But he's saying
There
that
are
other people can't
are
do
not
that.
Willing to.
It's not willing,
I
it's
am-
not able, dude. I'm good with my hands.
Corey
That's
was
a different thing.
underemployed for a while.
Listen, you go unemployed and then you shovel shit out of.
It's part of the
Farms
system.
and
It's
you
part of the
do
way it
I
works.
did that when I was a
Gotta
kid,
do.
baby.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying,
sometimes you got to do it
whatever
again.
You got to do to put food on the table, and you don't use the. I'm not making a. Hey, listen,
Like Slay Rhino.
move out of your fucking big house and go live somewhere where you can afford it. You can't afford it no more. I don't really.
You're
give a
right.
fuck
You're
if
right.
You can't pay your mortgage.
I mean, very capitalistically, you're right. You're very right, very capitalistic.
Do you believe in no help?
no help.
No help for the
No,
poor.
I think there's a place for help. I don't think that bureaucrats know how to make those decisions.
You're right, because they're so far removed from it. They have no idea what help is because
It's
they've
a
never
what?
had it.
Whose war?
Most
Rich.
of
Rich
them,
white
And this
man.
asshole's up there on Capitol Hill.
they've
making
never been there.
$300,000 a year,
Vietnam.
and then
We're
I
not
don't know.
there anymore. Vietnam is like
Sorry,
that's
no,
not
but we're
relatable.
having the same conversation
But it's not relatable. We're a group of like 30-somethings in this room, except you
that weren't born.
and you. So we're
How
20s
old are
or
you?
somethings-ish.
28.
You're 20?
28.
28. Oh,
Jesus.
so I'm 29. So
They might as well be.
it's still the
stopped
same
counting
goddamn
after
conversation.
30
A rich
years,
white man
whatever.
sent our fucking kids to fight.
Right. They're not the
It's
most
the
qualified people to.
No, they're the richest
They're
fucking
the richest people, and the richest people aren't the most qualified.
The richest, the most qualified fucking people are us four. Are the 1,000
Yeah.
people that are listening
But
who
there's
go
also
1,000. See that? That
Also-
1,000 people that are listening.
I like
you
it.
also can't put.
Well, Stacey,
But did I said it before? Our original government was a part-time government. They were farmers and blacksmiths and inventors, and they
John Adams was a lawyer.
It will be a smooth
I like that. I like that. I cannot.
So that was my take on immigration reform.
You had immigration
Yeah.
I did.
Sorry.
We're going to go to break.
You
and
had two
play
more
some music
points.
for our live listeners.
what
We're
were
going to come back to my other 2 points, and then we're going to finish up the show. I
Do
think
you know how much I love you?
very much.
Lots
I think.
and lots.
You
and
better.
lots.
You better love my wife as well, who sponsors the snacks at AirWreck Radios.
Yes, exactly. Tammy Lee, our news girl.
Cheers, Tammy.
Who is the new band that you've introduced me to, sir?
This band, I think, is called Wasted Desire, but maybe their
not
album
Johnny
is
B
called
and the
Wasted
Dirty Hippies?
Desire. You're going to be able to check them out.
No, it's contributing artist, Wasted Desire. And that is the band.
You're going to be able to
That's
check
what my
them out.
iTunes says.
This week, we're going to check out Second Prince. Next week, we might check out Wasted Desire. It might be the week after that.
Listen, I don't care how we interview them. All I know is I have more music to play, and I wanted to segue into something.
So here's a song by Wasted Desire. What song this is called Walk Away. It's the first track on their album.
Everybody's favorite.
You can buy that album. I don't know, but you'll find out next week or the week after when they're in the studio. Thanks for joining us for AirWreck Radio.
But I am to them, so I try to forget it any way I your smiling face and all is well. You know that I'll wait for you for all of my life, eh? Because the clouds are falling and rain down with no sunshine, eh? But I walk away, eh, from myself. Maybe I'll do it all for you. And if I had it all the time to say.
Welcome back, and thank you for listening to AirWreck Radio. We've been discussing our most important political stances.
Obamacare is worse than universal health care.
yeah.
It's so horrible.
If we're going to be forced to have some kind of health care program, I want some benefit for it besides paying higher premiums.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
Just hide that shit in the rest of my day.
Don't you just want it to be part of your taxes and you can just go to the doctor when you need to and you'll get what treatment
That's
you
the real
need?
problem.
Some people go to the doctor more often.
It's like when you say, hey, you're covered, they just go to the doctor. And that's part of the reason why Meta, I can't remember which one's for poor people.
I had that same problem. I can
Medicare
never
is for
remember.
poor people. Medicaid.
They'll
is for
go
all
to the doctor when they really should just go and get Tylenol, whatever.
See now, I do think that
I never go to the doctor, period, like ever.
current Medicare,
I go to him when I'm like, hey, I want to try this drug. You know,
current Medicare
what's about it?
is set up for the abuser. But I think that it's because of welfare being set up for the abuser. I think that current Medicare is only fucked up because the entitled feel entitled to it. But if we all felt like, isn't it our responsibility to just be intelligent about when we go to the doctor? If we all felt that way, if we all acted like it was intelligent to go to the doctor when it was intelligent to go there, wouldn't affordable, taxpayer, single-payer healthcare be a real thing? I hate Obamacare. Hate it. It's disgusting. And I hate they call it Obamacare because that's not what it was. Obamacare was single-payer healthcare, but Republicans shot it down. Conservatives shot it down. They said, this is absurd. We can't possibly afford this. Let's put the money on the backs of the small business owner and call it Obamacare, because then everybody will associate this disruption of the middle caste with Obama.
It after it was voted.
Because they named it him. What the hell was he supposed to do?
It was Romney care, dude.
It was
facts are
Romney
there, dude. It was Romney care in Massachusetts.
They named it Obamacare.
principle.
What was he supposed to do except roll with it?
You're not wrong. I'm
It is
against
a bad
healthcare.
program.
I'm against healthcare altogether.
The
It should just
Affordable
medicine.
Health Care Act.
People should just fucking die.
No,
No, it's
I'm
People should
for
just
the
live
healthcare.
forever on the
You're right.
internet.
You're right. I
That's what
spoke
people
wrong.
should
You're
do.
right. You're right.
People
I'm
should
all
live
for healthcare.
forever
I'm
on
for
the internet.
healthcare charges. Do me a favor.
What?
We were experiencing technical difficulties. Throw your headphones back on. I want to hear. I want to know what yours sound like. I don't give a fuck. Let people listen. Who cares?
Hey,
We're live.
Chris, listeners,
It's the best thing about being a podcast. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Is that any better?
I can certainly hear you.
Is that better than it was before a minute ago when I told you to dump your headphones?
I don't know. I hate hearing you. What about these?
Hey, there's a phone conversation that I would really like back. So I want to say, if you're listening, contact. You
Thanks for
want
doing
that?
that on our show, John.
Yeah, really.
So the,
All right,
the
third
short
point.
end of
Third
the stick
point.
is that I can hear you and not them. But I want medical care on the table in front of Congress, just like I think Dave wanted. John wanted a Ferrari, but I think that what he meant was medical care. Corey wanted medical care.
Yes.
I want medical care. Can't we just get it on the fucking table and talk about it like a bunch of elected officials out the fuck to talk about it?
Yeah, I would. You know what? Even though I said,
Aston Martin. I would like it to be
a Ferrari.
Whatever. I would like it to be. And it would be fixing insurance as in getting rid of it in its current form.
I would like to have.
I think that would.
If you go to the doctor's
cost.
for a checkup, you pay a legitimate fee. But if you break your arm and go to the hospital, that's a human right. I need care fucking now. That's a human right. But if you go to the doctors because your fucking tooth hurts and you've been to 5 dentists, that's not a human right.
That's what the crazy thing about it always was, because the law, before there was insurance companies, was like, no, if they walk into the hospital, you have to treat them, period.
I would like a responsible, reasonable human rights health care.
See, and the deal should be, these people could pay for it.
Take care of yourself.
And the hospital can or cannot take the charity case. They should just eat the cost.
I don't dig that, but I dig your ability to say it.
It shouldn't be a hospital.
I dig your point.
You took an oath.
Yeah,
just like the fucking Congress people took an oath.
Hold on now.
To uphold the Constitution.
The oath the doctors took was to do no harm.
Uphold that. So the whole government is illegitimate, in my opinion.
If only the government officials were required to take the Hippocratic oath, they would all have to. Isn't it weird that it's called the Hippocratic oath?
Right.
Like, isn't that unusual that it's like
so
hypocrite?
Close to hypocritical.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you say
but
one thing,
it's
but
the oath that we know is real. Do no harm. Do no harm. What if congressmen had to take that simple oath, and if they ever were found guilty of violating it, out you go, you're fired. You're done with being a congressman. You violated the Hippocratic oath. You did harm. Wouldn't that be terrific?
Now
because,
that they can't hold.
Good congressmen, good, effective congressmen, like Dick Cheney. You can't even say it with a straight face. Let me try again. Let me rewind and try again.
Anthony Weiner. Elliot Spitzer. No, just callbacks to shit we've talked about.
Who the hell ran with Sarah Palin?
McCain.
Yeah.
John McCain, a terrific senator. I would like to say a terrible presidential candidate.
And a million years old.
Yeah.
I don't agree with terrible senator.
Why is that? Because he rams bullshit down her throat?
Well, they all do that, but you gotta choose the lesser of two evils. Unless you're on Master of Commander, then you have to choose the lesser of two evils. But, like 5 people got that, and 3 of them are here. John McCain is not a terrible senator. He commonly works with his counterparts on the liberal side. He works around. He does what he does to keep the government running. He makes compromises. As a president, would I have voted for him? Perhaps if he had somebody that wasn't Sarah Palin running with him. Against Obama? Not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance.
I voted for Obama.
I did too. Did it.
I'm
guilty.
sorry.
Wow, you guys are assholes.
I'm sorry.
We thought we were
I'm
right.
sorry.
What are you assholes?
I'm sorry.
We thought we were right.
I didn't vote for the Democrat or the Republican, so I just want to say my hands are
Nader?
clean.
Well, if you'd have voted for the Republican, we'd be just as fucked. But we'd all be like, look at that white guy.
It wouldn't have mattered in our current state of
Did you not vote for
At
John
all.
McCain because you were
You're fucked.
afraid
It was
that he was going to die?
Democrat
No.
every time
Yes.
in
Sort of.
New York, period.
So like you were afraid that he was going to die and then leave it to Sarah Palin.
I was a little
Bingo. That was a
concerned with
real
Sarah
fear.
Palin
I'm not
on the
going to
sideline.
joke.
But I was more afraid of just like,
I'm not against voting Republican. I'm
I
not.
didn't want conservatives to have the Congress and the presidency because where they brought us was wrong.
There's no balance.
But
I'm kind of
where Democrats have brought us with a Republican Congress, just as wrong. It turns out
Hey,
that these two
heard a good
asshats...
joke. It was,
Tell it.
so,
Or don't.
Or fall apart during it. You know, one of the
If you're
two.
going to interrupt them, have it fucking
Yeah,
ready.
you gotta have it online, man. Fired! Or, whatever.
Or punch out.
so somebody told me,
I can't hit the
if
fucking
I
Death Star.
if I voted for John McCain, I'd just get another George Bush.
That's true.
And I voted for John McCain, and I got another George Bush.
I voted for Obama,
No, you got
and I
another
got
fucking
another George
politician. You got another fucking
Paid for
Hey,
endorsed
joke.
politician.
I didn't vote for John McCain, so
Yeah,
I
you voted
know.
for Ron Paul.
It was so infuriating a joke I couldn't laugh.
I always vote.
He's mad now.
He didn't run that
I got
election.
him wrong.
No, you've no idea how embarrassed I am that I voted for fucking Obama and how fucking
I'm not embarrassed
Right
about
now,
it.
today,
Fucking
absolutely.
wrong.
When I was doing
I'm
it,
not embarrassed about it at all.
when I was doing it, I thought I was making the right choice.
I still think
now-
that.
Ooh, change.
I still think that. I
You
still
lied to me.
Yeah.
He did lie. Do
They
you
all
think McCain
lie.
wouldn't have lied?
No, they all lie. You're right.
They
You're
do all
absolutely
lie.
right.
They both ran on the same ticket.
Of the 4 people in this room with microphones in front of them, I would like to agree most with John, who just said they both ran on the same ticket.
Yes.
Because when you run on the Democrat or Republican ticket, what you're actually running on is the president ticket.
Yeah.
One of you will win. And anybody who votes for the third party is sacrificing their vote in the hopes that someday they fucking nail it. God damn it. Republicans, Democrats, conservative, liberal, whatever you want to call them, they're all full of horse shit. They all get into that fucking seat and they just fucking toe the line, and it's a fucking train wreck for the rest of us. The middle class, listen, I'm securely set in the middle class. I don't get a fucking thing. I pay for healthcare. I pay a ridiculous amount for healthcare. And that's why I'm for universal healthcare, because I pay an absurd amount of money for the healthcare that people pay nothing for.
I got offered a new job from a company that didn't have great benefits. And I was shocked at what the healthcare I would have to pay.
It costs an assload.
It was like $1,000 a month
It's
at this
absurd.
place, and it's like they must not be putting in
To break that down,
anything.
for our week
And it's
to
just
week
like I
listeners.
feel like Dave here, who is an independent business owner, has to pay that out of his pocket
He
because
does.
the government said so.
Yeah.
Is absurd.
Did we?
Obamacare is an absolute travesty.
Anybody who owns a business who has to pull that out of their pocket, like I don't actually pay. I love my company pays my health care now.
Your company pays your healthcare
Yes, I
all
work
the
for
way?
a great company. They pay
All
my
the way?
healthcare. Except my deductible.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's a great company.
That is a great company. That's pretty fucking
So going
terrific.
from paying nothing to $1,000 a month made me think, well, maybe I don't want to take this job.
Right? Right?
But that also puts into perspective
I feel like I pay.
what people who own their own business have to pay to have, people who don't work for a company that's making millions of dollars.
The Affordable Care Act is a destruction to the small business.
Yes.
It's
it
so
is.
bad.
Absurd to force somebody to pay for something that they can't afford.
We have
I would
5
like to point out
employees,
that this
one full time. We cannot afford
The Affordable
this
Care
act
Act
of Congress.
being
Right.
dubbed
Because it's somewhat, it's definitely somebody who's tilting on, tilting on success and not success. Why do you gotta,
the Affordable Care Act, I would like to point out, is what is commonly known as the Obamacare Act.
Yes.
It's actually called the Affordable Care Act, and it's called that because Obama, our president, some people call him Mr. Obama. The actual correct title
President Obama.
is President Obama, and I fucking detest it when people call him anything other than President Obama. I hate it. I do. I was an Obama voter 2 times in a row, an Obama supporter now. Not so much. But I hate it when people don't call him President Obama, because that's his title. It's not Mr., it's not Doctor, it's not Sir, it's President. That's the title you
Does
get.
it depend on which one is talking?
I don't think it does. But whoever's talking,
Obama 1 or Obama 2?
well, all right.
All right, boys. Well, I hate to be the hole in the situation.
You are being it.
I know.
It was awful. What are we due for a break?
Yeah, well, no, what was your third point? Because we are due for an interview.
My third point. If we were looking at the 3 things that I would like to be on the table right now, would be, how did you boys get into podcasting?
I'll take it.
That's a good point.
That is an important issue for Congress.
Well, I am a co-owner of First Print Comics.
First Print Comics at
1548 Buffalo Road.
Rochester, New York, 14624.
Where you should buy your comics.
978-9791.
Oh my goodness.
Better than a band, I'll tell you that much.
Much better than most bands. You can find them at 1549 Buffalo Road.
48.
Whatever. If
you go to 59, I think that's Hess.
If you're
So,
looking
I mean,
for
you're
a
close
comic
enough.
book shop and you ask the guy at the Hess
Get a
station,
beer and then
he'll be
stop
like,
by.
I don't
Come on
fucking
by.
know. And then you walk back out to your car disgruntled about shit, and you'll see their sign
Right.
on their building next door.
John was a customer that we would have these long-ass conversations about
I knew
everything.
That's what it was.
Everything. But mostly comics, and we started talking about things like, what did you think? Medusa's a character that her hair on her head moves. So I would ask him questions like, do you think her pubic hair moves too?
I love this question.
And he, what was your answer?
Well, yeah, you get a hand job and fuck at the same time.
What if her fucking fangs were venomous, though? Like, would they all be venomous, or just the ones on her mouth?
If
Her
any
mouth.
chick had teeth on her pussy, I'd probably stay away from that.
Yeah, but like Medusa's got venomous spiders, according to you. On
Well, this particular Marvel character does
Spiders.
not. Her hair just moves. It's not like
Snakes.
it's just It's not the Greek mythology character. Is that?
Oh, it's a Marvel character.
But the character's name is Medusa, her hair moves.
Yeah, not snakes.
But it's not snakes.
That's not the same
You
thing.
could get like a blowjob and a fuck if it was snakes.
You could actually get that if
You
it
could
was
put
hair.
it in the snake's mouth and then in the pussy.
Well, I could if it was hair. But
So we had these. We would have these long conversations, and he was like, "We should be recording this. This is way funnier. We should do something with this." So we started.
It was really like talking with him and actually all their customers.
Right. Because we'd have these long discussions about everything,
And it's like, why don't we record this and put it out there?
I agree with that statement, because that's what I said to Corey when he was talking about starting AirWreckRadio and wanting me on a spot. Why don't we just do it? That's how.
Yeah,
it
why don't we
started.
just record standing in your garage getting drunk?
Yeah, we'll just do that. Only we'll sit down with earphones and microphones. Phones. We already had the phones, actually.
I got to ask a very specific question. In episode...
A race what is
Specific.
Very specific.
Oh, I thought you said race specific.
No, not
A
race
very specific question.
I am
In
not
the episode-
speaking for all the mutts.
In the issue of Second Prince,
It's funny. Nobody does. Not me, not you, nobody. It's like, I'm talking about all of everybody because I'm that. I have a black daughter, I know.
I believe issue of Second Prince 18 was AirWreck.
yes.
So 17 was the one I'm thinking. You guys discussed I believe it was a book, but it wasn't.
Probably like $15.
Probably, but it wasn't like a classic superhero book. It was a biblical book or scripture-based book.
Next Testament.
What was that about? Like, it caught my ear, and I wanted to know more.
It is by far my favorite book on the stands right now ever, period.
Really? Okay, tell me why.
Because God kicks ass. Obviously.
Woo?
This isn't punk rock zombie Jesus.
No, this isn't Punk Rock Jesus. This is Next Testament, which is like a 10-issue miniseries.
It's
Okay.
by Clyde Barker, the master of horror.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a name.
He comes up with the story, and Mark Miller is writing it.
That's a name.
Okay.
The plot's by Clyde Barker.
Right.
The book is fantastic. The art is kind of like what you saw in Yellow Submarine with the Beatles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I hate
Absolutely.
that.
It's pretty trippy art. God. So this guy goes out to the desert and finds God
Okay.
in a pyramid, and he was looking for God specifically. So he believes in God. God comes out and he's like, "My name's really Wick."
Well, that'll happen when you're looking for something. You will find it.
He's like, "My name's Wick. Thank you for, taking me out of prison or whatever." And he goes back to his camp and kills everybody at the camp. And puts his wife in a coma. And the guy's still like, "You are God." So then he takes him to a dinner party, and the guy, kills everybody at the dinner.
It literally is the last
I don't know.
supper.
It's just great because the God's just like, "Man, you guys are
People are
fucking,
fun.
you guys are fucking boring. And I'm gonna kill you for it."
This is a great thing about comics now, is because it's not just superheroes and dudes running around in tights. There's a lot of independent companies that do books on crime and horror and all kinds of stuff. And there's romance stuff out there too for
See, I don't
for
like
other
dudes
people.
running around in tights so much as I like this. I like Batman for having
What if
been
they were
able to make it
crotchless?
relevant.
just
Well,
wanted
that
to
might
know.
help the entertainment
still
value
not
a
so
little
much.
bit.
Right.
But that's what I like about Batman. Batman made it this most recent iteration. Whenever you're inebriated on our show, if you mess up a road,
Inebriated, iteration, same thing.
Somebody will correct it for
it's
you.
important to say it slowly in a microphone.
Yeah.
Recent iteration of Batman.
When was Batman interracial?
It was like,
Wait, whoa! I can answer that question. Adam West, Batman on TV, Catwoman, black.
is that true?
Yes.
She was played
Was
by
it also O'Hara?
she was
That
played
makes sense.
by a couple actresses in that
Batman.
show.
Yeah, we have the original one, the very first one, black.
Right. Okay.
If Batman and James T. Kirk were the same person, I'd be like, you know what, that makes sense. I would completely be like, you're right. Totally Bruce Wayne.
Right.
is
What were
James
you
T.
saying
Kirk.
about the current iteration?
Yeah, we had distracted.
He has no he has no powers. He's a single.
I like that he's just a guy with a ton of fucking money who wants to fight crime. So he hires a gadget guy.
Oh, money, best superpower ever, no
Yeah,
question.
It literally is the most realistic superpower.
Absolutely.
I love that about the new Batman. Is like he's just a guy who gives a shit. He's got a personal vendetta, and he really gives a shit. But I also love about Marvel characters because Marvel characters are often endowed by powers from some unearthly source. Superman is a DC character who you might argue is endowed by powers by an unearthly source, but it actually turns out that his powers are completely
his
earthly.
origin is unearthly, and thus
His
powers are
earthly. DC Comics, their two biggest heroes.
I don't like not that I'm against superheroes. I just don't read comic books. That's why I'm interested in that one series. I think that's a good hybrid.
Which is cool because you're not interested into superheroes, but there's a lot of things out there that you might be.
Yeah, the way I'm describing it right now is probably not so great.
I don't care. I'm interested totally. I can find those books where
I love at
First Prince Comics at 1548 Buffalo
You can
Road
also
in Gates,
find
New York.
a written review of Next Testament on Examiner.com.
That's where you do the journalism.
your
Yes,
journalistic
that's right.
journalism.
Yeah.
John does journalism at a place called
TheExaminer.com. The place totally exploits people who like writing, and they
I'm
pay
good
them
with being
penance.
exploited.
But you get an editor, which means you're a journalist. So I'm in because then if Congress decides to change the definition of the First Amendment, I'll probably be covered. So fuck all you fucking fuck faces and fuck you. Fuck everyone. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Just
I'm a
because
journalist.
just because of that, I'm going to bleep out every one of those fucks.
At least 70% of your listenership is going to be so happy that you were on a political news-oriented show tonight.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I think that we've gained listenership for it that you guys didn't gain from us. So thanks for coming. My third point, now that we've completely derailed.
I thought we were third pointing with the interview.
Nope.
All right, let's go.
My third thing, if we had 3 days to deliberate and fix 3 things, my third thing, if this is the third day, would be campaign reform. Why does it cost so goddamn much to run for fucking president? That's absurd. But on the other hand, is it absurd? Money's what we go by. If you have all the money, shouldn't you be the leader?
No, and there's no fucking good answer.
There's got to be every wreckhead has got to know my point of view on this by now.
There's no good answer. I mean, there's no reform that makes sense. None. Zero.
No, not a single one reform.
People are like, people who run for office should be publicly funded. That is the fucking most absurd because nothing should be publicly funded. Period.
Except for like roads.
No.
Stop signs.
That should be up to the state.
I disagree.
Everything should be up to the state. The government, the federal government, shouldn't fund pretty much anything.
Well, somebody's got to go to war.
All right.
Yeah, the federal government.
Yeah, so they need some funding for that. War's expensive.
In the early times of the Republic, I'm just saying that's pretty much it. That's all they should pay for.
War? Foreign policy.
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Immigration
Their
reform.
only job is to protect your individual liberties. That's it. That's their
Not
only
to
job.
keep you safe.
No,
No.
that's not written anywhere in the fucking
It
Constitution.
sure the fuck isn't.
Keeping you safe is not in the Constitution.
That's your job, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why the Second Amendment exists. Duh.
Yeah, because you can keep you safe.
Right.
You would just
You're
buy a gun.
allowed to buy guns.
How about that case? Did you guys hear this case where, like, so if we all remember back just a short while ago, the vice president said, just shoot a gun in the air 2 times. That'll scare off anybody. Well, currently in some state in the South, I don't have the facts. This isn't part of headline news. Headline news. Some state in the South is currently arresting and investigating a man because he was being intruded upon, and he fired 2 rounds into the air and said, the vice president told me this is exactly what I should do, so I did it. Isn't that fun? Isn't just
That
take
is
that.
fun.
Isn't that
Oh,
fun?
that's a little fun facts.
Hey, listen,
facts.
if you're
Because
going to
it
fire a
happened.
gun,
Like, both of what he
if
says
you are
and
going to
what
pull
happened,
that trigger,
happened.
you should fucking mean it. That's all I got to say.
The-
Well, that's
the-
what my daddy taught me.
That's right.
Pull a gun, you better
You're
be ready
going to
kill
fucking
somebody.
point that gun anywhere, you better mean it.
Joe
That's what my
Biden.
daddy taught me.
Joe Biden said, just walk out there, fire that
He
shotgun
said the
2
funny
times
thing
into the
about,
air.
you know,
That's what this guy did.
Joe Biden
And now
said
he's
fire a
being up on-
shotgun
he's
into the
being-
air.
I love that video where they're like, oh, where they show Biden and he talks about shotguns, you know,
And
how
then,
he's
like,
only-
girls shoot him and they fall over.
right, and then
the
they
video,
shoot assault
it's
rifles and they just
stand
sit
up
there.
and shoot assault
Yeah.
rifles
I
very well.
love that
Yeah.
video
Biden, I've
because
seen
it's
that
pretty
video.
accurate.
It is, my wife, the first time she shot a shotgun, she set the stock on her shoulder. This is not a lie. She literally was like, how do I hold it? And she held it like a bazooka. That's not, for any of our listeners who don't know how to hold a shotgun, I'm not here to help to tell you how to hold a firearm. But if you're going to hold a shotgun, the stock goes into your shoulder, not on top of it. But
It's simple physics.
Yeah.
Really.
My wife is an engineer in training. I mean, like,
You think she'd understand a reverse explosion?
she's not a dummy at all. She's a very smart woman. But she set that shotgun stock on her shoulder. I was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did you let her pull the trigger?
Absolutely not. I was like, whoa! No.
Well, that's hackerhead. Don't do that.
All right.
I absolutely didn't let her pull the trigger. And neither would anybody.
Yes, and now this is my second wife.
No, I only want one. So I told her don't do that. Because she'll get brain damage. And then it'll be a complicated case on the media. Which would really help promote the show. Perhaps we should go trap shooting again.
Wow, you are an evil son of a
man.
bitch.
Only because I know she listens.
Yeah, I'm isolating that and sending it to her an email. What are you talking about?
So I think that I hit all three of my points. But if I didn't, my third point was campaign reform, and we all think that's a fucking mess.
Right.
So, to move on to
a
closing
hard
this
one to
8-hour
fix.
show.
Yes, and so we can let these poor fucking guys go home.
Thank you.
And maybe we can get to some of my actual interview questions
Oh my God.
another time.
Wait, are we doing an interview or am I closing the show?
You're closing the show.
Thank you so much for joining us at AirWreck Radio. Please join Second Prince Podcast at secondprince.co. Is that
Thanks,
correct?
John. Love you, John. Thanks,
At least
buddy.
he didn't belch into the fucking thing. I fucking hate that, man. As a listener, I listen on headphones, man. That shit is hard to deal with and not be mad. I listen on headphones. Like, you listen on headphones, but at least you're able to be like, what the fuck? But like,
he gets mad every time, but
No, he'll open
I
he'll open his
voluntarily
pop,
listen.
I do that.
blow
I
his
do that.
nose. I don't need the extra fucking sound effects. Just talk into the mic, okay?
Sometimes I think about throwing you guys $5, but then you belch in the microphone, and I'm like, you know what? I'm promoting AirWreck Radio instead with $5. Every time you burp in the microphone, I
love
pay
burping
money
in
at
the
AirWreck Radio.
microphone.
I know
and I
you do.
will not stop.
I can tell, and I don't want you to, because you do it like you go all in, man. You don't fuck around about it. You're like, oh no, this is a good one. You're like all in right from the get go.
I drink the Swaps. What do I drink?
The carbonated water.
Yeah. It's just carbonated water. It's not even pop or nothing.
This is what you
It's
guys
like
get for
extra
doing your show
carbonated.
so early on a Sunday morning. Like, church isn't even out yet. It's entirely too early to get a DWI. This is the perfect time to drink and make a podcast. You guys have, there's not even any cops out at before 10 on a Sunday.
Right.
Why aren't you guys drinking on your show?
I read from that nice notebook with, comic book characters on
I've
it.
seen it. You're
And
nice notebook.
I could really not, read my handwriting anyway. If I was drunk, the show would go
That's
nowhere.
why you use sticky notes all over your Inspiron 1701.
Did you say something about extra sound effects? For a little inside joke
my
for our
Christ.
listeners?
Are we on, like, the third break where it's time for Corey's terrible sound effects?
Oh, I didn't come over on the speakers.
I lost
There was
I lost my headphones, too. So listeners, including me later, you all got a special treat just now.
It was an
Probably
inside
wasn't that
joke for
special.
anybody who's listened to the show for more than 2 episodes.
Have you heard Miley Cyrus's...
No, have you heard that we are supposed to be closing this fucking show?
I was. Right now.
With what?
With Miley Cyrus. He was
That-
closing
I
it
hate when he
right
does it
in
to
there.
I
Miley
hate
Cyrus.
when he does it to me. I hate it when he does it to me.
What?
What are we closing the show with, Stace?
Miley Cyrus,
Oh,
We Can't Stop.
Oh, Sigourney.
I hated when
Sigourney.
I heard that we... when I heard that there was actually a group of people lobbying to have Party in the USA turned into the national anthem, I was like, shoot me in the fucking head. This is retarded. Why would a bunch of fucking crunk-ass retards get on board with fucking Party in the USA? But some of them did. I'm happy to report to you that currently the United States national anthem is not Party in the USA.
That's a funny thing. A while back when that song was played every 2 minutes on the radio.
Were you disgusted by it?
I was, but they had interviewed her about the song, and they were like, "What Jay-Z song are you talking about?" And she goes, "I don't know. I didn't write the song." Great answer. If you don't know, make some shit up because you sound like a moron.
No. Wait. If you think that Miley Cyrus is anything less than a moron,
she should give the Congress answer and be like, "Let me get back to you on that."
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear. I don't know what song that you're thinking I should refer to.
I would like to point out that my sincere belief is that Miley Cyrus, and I mean this in the most literal, hurtful, mean-ass sense of the word,
I love you,
should be the first postpartum abortion.
Wow. That's fucked up, man. There's way more people you should kill besides her.
Well,
I'm just saying.
And to support your point, I do believe that Miley Cyrus's "We Can't Stop" is a terrific song. I love this song. Corey, if you could get it on YouTube currently,
oh my God,
and play it for our listeners, and then we will all listen to it and report back with our feelings before we close this horrible postpartum abortion of a show.
Postpartum abortion of a show.
This most terrific episode of AirWreck Radio with special
guests. This is the best episode of Second Prince ever.
It is the best episode of Second Prince.
Stop, right?
Although I listened to entire episodes of Second Prince, about halfway through fucking AirWreck, I get so pissed off that I break my phone every week. Good thing I have insurance. I pay a $50 deductible. None of that is true, except the part where I listen to your guys' whole show every week.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All of our listeners
We Can't Stop.
too.
Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop.
Is that up now?
Yes.
Play it for the people.
Please don't sue us.
It's our party, we can do what we want. It's our party, we can say what we want. It's our party, we can love who we want. We can kiss who we want. We can screw who we want.
Red cousins, sweaty bodies everywhere. Hands in the air like we don't care. Cause we came to have so much fun now. That somebody here might get some now. If you're not ready to go home, can I get a hell no? Cause we gonna go all night till we see the sunlight. Alright. So la-da-dee-da-dee, when we like to party, dancing with Miley, doing whatever we want. This is our house, this is our rules, and we can't stop, and we won't stop. Can't you see it's we who own the night? Can't you see it's we who found that light? We can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things, things don't run we. Don't take nothing from nobody. Yeah, yeah.
It's our party, we can do what we want. It's our party, we can say what we want. It's our party, we can love who we want. We can kiss who we want. We can screw who we want.
To my homegirls here with the big butt, shaking it like we on a strip club. Remember, only God could judge ya. Forget the haters, cause somebody loves ya. And everyone in line in the bathroom, trying to get a line in the bathroom. We all so turned up here, getting turned up, yeah, yeah, yeah. So la-da-dee-da-dee, when we like to party, dancing with Miley, doing whatever we want. This is our house, this is our rules, and we can't stop, and we won't stop. Can't you see it's we who own the night? Can't you see it's we who found that light? And we can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things, things don't run we. Don't take nothing from nobody. Yeah, yeah.
It's our party, we can do what we want. It's our party, we can say what we want. It's our party, we can love who we want. We can kiss who we want. We can screw who we want.
It's our party, we can do what we want to. It's our house, we can love who we want to. It's our song, we can sing if we want to. It's my mouth, I can say what I want to. Yeah. We can't stop, and we won't stop. We're a baby, don't worry. We don't take nothing from nobody.
So that was Miley Cyrus's We Can't Stop. And I'd like to bring that as my third point to the table. And here's why.
How many third points to the table are you going to bring?
It's 4 or 5. This is the last one for sure.
3B.
This is 311.
I had to share all of your third points and keep this shit on the rails until it was my turn to talk. So I'd like you all to applaud my patience. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. I actually could have, but there wouldn't have been any applause.
So, how about a fine go fuck yourself? How's that sound?
That song, for those of us who haven't heard it before or haven't heard it yet, listen to it. Miley Cyrus's We Can't Stop. I am not a Miley Cyrus fan by any stretch of the word. But that song, I heard it, and it struck me as like, what an American anthem about the entitled class. But aren't they correct? Until the fucking money runs out, aren't they correct? Like, sure, they're driving us into the fucking ground, but aren't they correct? Some of them are going to die before they turned out
in
wrong.
That song?
There
I
were.
wasn't even fucking paying attention.
There were. It was all about how it's our party.
I had the video.
I was like, God damn, this song sounds like a produced piece of shit.
I can understand how it might have sounded like that, but
which is why I didn't hear the words.
It's our party. We can do what we want to.
Right.
Well, we won the Cold War. For a little while, we could do what we want to.
Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time.
That's right.
All right. That's better
yeah.
than paying licensing.
That's correct. Also, the thong song and Osalaka Pique Macarena. Also, the song. All of these songs share a common thread, and it's about America being on top. Perhaps not the Osalaka Pique Macarena.
What the fuck happened in this radio show? What the fuck happened?
But isn't it time to recognize that just because we won the Cold War doesn't mean we are king of the world?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Unfortunately, pretty much that's what it means.
Well, you're Corey. Say hi, Corey.
Hi. I don't agree with it, but...
And I'm Stacy.
Hi, Stace.
And we disagree frequently.
That happens on here.
And this is what AirWreck Radio is all about.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us for AirWreck Radio.
I love you so much.
Second Prince Podcast for joining us tonight. We had Jon and Dave in the studio with us. Say hi, Jon.
Hi,
or say
John.
good.
You're welcome.
There you go. That's what we wanted. We want a closing dissertation.
I got one more book recommendation.
All right, I want to hear it.
Fire it out.
Everybody should read Economic Hitmen.
Economic Hitman.
By Jon.
Give me a 45-second breakdown.
Starting now.
It explains everything you talked about us being kings of the world.
5.
That's it.
6.
Wow, you did it in 7 seconds. I love it.
9. 10.
All right, I'm in. I got 2 books I want to read.
13. 14,
Economic Hitman.
Economic Hitman.
16.
And
17,
Next Testament.
Next Testament.
Right. 19. 20,
I like Gun
21,
Machine by Warren Ellis
22,
also. And
23. 24.
Hey, we hijacked their radio show. Let them hijack ours. Come on. Put a plug in there. Something. A book you like.
29,
Nothing.
30. 31. 32.
Thank you for listening
34,
to AirWreck Radio.
35,
Next Testament is way better than the gospel.
7.
I'm good. Good night.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Have a fucking great week.
It's late in the afternoon, the sun rising high. There's nothing to do around here, and if there was, well, I wouldn't try. Taking my comforts, taking good care of me, sitting down in my easy chair, taking a sip of my sassafras tea.
I'd like to extend a very special thanks to Kevin McLeod of Incompect.com, freesounds.org, Audacity Software, GIMP graphic editors, all our band friends, our guests tonight, my dear friend Stacy, and all you, our loyal listeners.
How to deal with this insanity? Just sit down in my easy chair and take a big sip of my sassafras tea. Getting near evening, the sun going down. I guess I should shake a leg, climb in my car and roll downtown. Check out the city lights, all decked out in a tux and a tie. But I'm sitting in my easy chair, taking a sip of my sassafras tea. Jim, he got the willies and the worries on his mind, and the weight of the world putting pressure on his spine. Well, I got the solution. I know how to set him free. Set him down in my easy chair and give him a sip of my sassafras tea.